Hello, welcome. It's Drop Frames. It's Sunday. And chatter typing. Oh, and there's double audio. Okay. Hey, I'm on a new streaming PC, guys.
You don't say.
We're fixing things on the fly. I got that one fixed in under 5 seconds. I don't know what the typing was, though. Were either of you typing?
I was, but I don't know if you could hear it.
I don't know how we could hear it. Yeah, that makes
because when I type and I can hear it over the microphone, that's not the same sound that I was hearing.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone heard it though. It was either a paranormal event,
yes,
or somehow they heard typing. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. That's a new one on me. I haven't deduced that before. Yeah. Anyways, welcome. This past week, not too much going on. Which one of you, though, told Twitch that Turbo exists? Who did it? It was one of you.
That was me.
You did it, Zeke?
I'm really sorry about that.
I really like how they were like, so this is the month that we're going to knock down Subsplit. That has been a very popular decision. And in lieu of that, we're going to raise the price of Twitch Turbo. And what we're going to give you for that is...
You would think that they would add something.
At least something.
Just
something. Even like a badge, a new badge.
Yeah.
Or something.
Like refresh the badge, dude, or make it animated, or, something.
Something. And I mean, some people, the price is going up by half.
Yeah, because it's regional pricing. Let's introduce what they did. They basically turned Turbo into regional pricing, which is the same thing that they did to subs, I don't know, a year ago, 2 years ago, whenever that was. So here in the US, it's going from $8.99 to $11.99. But I believe if I saw Brazil, it's actually being, it's cheap, it's not a crazy price anymore. Yeah. So it's regional priced, right? So
one thing that was kind of funny is people were like, so wait, it's regional pricing, but the region of Twitch is getting more expensive. So is the region your wallet? Is that
Yes.
the region we're balancing here? Your wallet, Twitch? It's regional pricing, but where you are, it's getting more expensive.
Yeah.
How does that? No.
Did you guys see an official post, by the way, or did they just do that via email?
I got an email.
Because I got an email. I never saw a blog post or anything like that, or even, I don't even think I saw an official tweet. I think Zach Busey was tweeting about it, but yeah.
I think what happened is all the people that are subbed to Twitch Turbo got the email because we have the option to lock in the lower price for 3 months.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what happened.
Yeah. Well, that's a thing.
That's a thing.
I guess if it's not the worst thing they could have done, if that keeps it around.
To put it bluntly, it's still a great value.
Yeah.
For people that go the thing is though, is now the value gets brought out a little bit. So before it was you watch a couple streamers, cool. It's a good value because you're going to get no ads on either for less than the cost of subbing to both. Now it's now it's 3 streamers. So it's do you watch 3 streamers? And hopefully by 2029, it's not going to be so do you watch 42 streamers? Because we have a deal for you if so. But it's definitely it's still a good value if you are a peruser of Twitch. Not necessarily a 1 or 2 streamer kind of watcher, but if you watch a bunch of streams, it's still a good value.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gearing up to really push it. Push it advertising wise.
Push it real good.
Because they're gonna push it real good.
I guess.
Anyways,
Zeke, our audience
they've never
doesn't know that song. There's no way. Well, they might.
Mine does.
Mine does. I was gonna say,
audience is older.
Me and JP's, me and Zeke, we got older.
Maybe you might be right.
I think the youngins are watching you, JP. But me and
I got maybe. I might just be wrong. I'll take the L there, co. Okay, with a stack on it. On God,
FR.
for real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Facts.
On God. On
no,
God. Is that
There's
still
a lack-
thing?
Print it.
There's a distinct lack of cap.
Anyways.
No, but they've never really like done like a huge push, like an ad push or anything like that, saying like subscribe to Twitch Turbo. Maybe they're gonna do that now because Twitch Turbo was like for years it was just like a thing that like existed. It was one of
Yeah.
those things that was like an in and out off menu item that you had to know how to order it to like get it. You know, you tell them like a little code, like, can I get this? Slap my mama and shave my back, and they're like, all right, no onions, extra sauce, that kind of shit.
Slap
Like it's
my
like a little
mama.
code.
My bad.
You've never been to like a
Oh
southern
my
restaurant
God.
that had that that code that the waiters would tell
Only in the movies.
cooks?
I've only seen that. in the
That's not
movies.
real life, Zeke.
I don't know.
Come
Is that I want to go to that restaurant. I want to eat
Yeah.
food that slaps my mom and shaves my back. That'd be great. I want to feel
But
that
all I'm
feeling.
saying is, it used to be like kind of a hidden thing, or not. Like it's not something that they would advertise
did.
on front, on
Well,
Main Street.
here's the thing. The thing that's interesting about that is even though streamers get credit for a Twitch Turbo person watching their ad. That's
Mhm.
important to mention. If you have Twitch Turbo and a streamer runs the ads, you still count for being there and the streamer still gets compensation for that. What we don't know is if that works for advertisers, because that doesn't make a lot of sense because the advertiser's playing Twitch, and unless they like reduce the price or something, for the ad impression, which would be strange.
Yeah.
Then we don't know how that works. So what that means is that for years, Twitch Turbo has been in this weird middle ground where like Twitch does not seem to promote it, but it's there. And a lot of people were insinuating where it's like they probably don't want to promote it because advertisers would see that and be like, why do we want to pay you to advertise when you're promoting some way to get around it, give money to you? Like that just seems counterintuitive. So I just like Zeke said, I wonder if this is the push, like this is the start of them being like, okay, let's give this some value and start really pushing it to people. So maybe this is the advertiser train slowing down a little bit and they want to get up funds in a different way. So
Yeah.
something's happening, that's for sure, because they've been sitting on this for what, 5 years without touching it, basically, almost. And then all of a sudden we see the price go up and now they're talking about it. So something's
Yeah.
happening.
Well, didn't was it Mike Minton when we had him on the show? Didn't he say that they were thinking about there was something happening to Turbo in a couple months? I wonder if did he say
That was
that?
a couple years ago, wasn't it?
I don't know if that was
Oh no, was that the show I wasn't on?
Were you here
was
for the
pretty
Mike
recently.
Minton show? No,
Don't
maybe
remember.
you weren't here for that. Maybe that was just
Yeah.
me and Zeke.
What did he say?
I think he said like, yeah, we're looking at Turbo or something like that, if I recall correctly. Oh, it was Gassy. That's who it was. Gassy filled in for you. Yeah. I guess they have. When is TwitchCon Paris? That's next month, right? Yeah. So I wonder if they're gonna put this out there now and then next month, or when is TwitchCon US? October. I wonder if they'll say something about things that they're adding to Turbo then. That would make sense,
Maybe so.
I guess, is to, put the negative out and then announce the positive at an event like that. So that's the messaging is positive at that event rather than
Not wrong.
pissing people off. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm guessing they learned from previous like the last couple of TwitchCons where they're like, "Hey, we got some shit news for you."
Yeah. Or none at all in some
Yeah,
cases.
or none at all.
yeah.
Yeah, so for some people in chat, the benefit of Twitch Turbo is all to the viewer. So the benefit of Twitch Turbo is you don't get ads anywhere on Twitch. So if you want to save money by not subbing to streamers, you still want to do ad impression, you can do that. The only real downside of it is obviously if you watch a bunch of streamers, you'd have to pay more in subs, and then of course the streamer does not get your support. Twitch does.
Yeah.
You're subbing to Twitch, so and they get all the money. So that's the only downside, quote unquote, that you're funding Twitch directly and bypassing the streamers.
I'm curious. My people in my chat, multiple people are on PC, are saying that above chat right now, there is a what does it say exactly? It says get
We also
ad
get
free.
emotes for streamers. That's a good point.
Yeah. It says get ad free and is advertising Twitch Turbo above my chat. Is that the case for y'all's as well, or is that just mine? Yeah, everyone in my chat saying
wow.
it is there.
Everyone is saying yes.
Weird.
They added that a few days ago. Maybe they added that when they increased the price.
I bet you they did. Yeah. It's baked into the top bar right over the entire site.
Let
Wow.
me take a look here. Dang, dude. They
Yeah, that's a big
absolutely are
push.
starting to push this.
It makes sense, right? Like,
Oh yeah, the little Twitch Turbo button. Look at that. Go ad free on every stream. Support streamers without interruptions. Are you really going to try to say that getting Twitch Turbo is supporting streamers? I don't say this often. That's pretty cringe. That's like, what are you doing? You're literally giving the option to not directly support the streamer and then saying support streamers without interruption.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
Shout out to Twitch for that.
I'm seeing the battery by the where you get like Twitch whispers and your notifications and stuff like that, right by get bits.
Yes, for the record, the reason they're saying that is because you don't see the ads, but you are there for the ad, and the streamer gets that. Yes, so you are still watching ads. That's why they're saying that. It's just a very different thing.
Yeah,
you watching ads for a streamer for a year is not a fraction of the amount of money you are giving that streamer as if you would have subbed to them instead. So you are like those are two completely different beasts. Yeah,
interesting terms.
Yeah,
that they went with there, but yeah. Well, that's okay. That's like the first time they've promoted it in what 5 years. It's that's first, yeah. It's interesting times for sure. I don't know if you guys do this or if I'm just a fucking weirdo, but I go to Solinome all the time, and you can go to long-term stats. You can actually see statistics based on like 3, 7, 14, 30, 90 a year of just the entirety of Twitch. And right now, the past week, across the board, average viewers and average hours watched are down 10%. Probably because of finals week, if I had to wager.
Oh, yeah, I would say like that's...
Yeah. Past 3 days is up 1.3%. So that's probably because finals are over and they're watching ads. But it's an interesting stat to watch. The past year, it's down 7% site-wide, both average viewers and hours watched. So not as much, but it's definitely not in the green. So I am curious. That doesn't also track like site-wide subs. I don't think that's a thing. But just going off of Twitter and talking with a bunch of streamers, I think subs are down across the board for the platform. And while that's, one thing for streamers, that's also another thing for Twitch, right? Like they get a piece of that pie regardless.
They get a significant, it's going to be more soon.
It's going to be more. Yeah, it's going to be more. Exactly right. So I'm not surprised to see this now is ultimately where I'm going with all that information. If they're looking to gain, looking to be profitable in the short term, a $3 price hike on a product that they hadn't really cared or supported about publicly that much makes sense. Because most people that I think use Turbo, most people I should say, are just going to let it go and use Turbo again for an extra $3. That's kind of the way of like
they watch
cable.
A bunch of streamers.
Yeah, it's kind of not cable, but I say cable, but it's not cable. That's like what Netflix and HBO, they always do the like annual, the inflation tax is the PR messaging on there, right? And when they raise it by $1, that's like millions upon millions annually for every single user. So I get it. I understand from like the business side of things.
Why can't the Arizona tea guy run all of these websites and streaming services and shit? Come on.
The Arizona, what is his? They don't change the price of an Arizona can of tea, or what? Is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
They don't adjust.
It'll always be $2 or whatever it is.
Yeah. You're right. I don't know. It's a thing, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, they announce some
99 cents. There you go. 99 cents. Thank you.
I would really. I've been a Turbo person forever.
Yeah.
I would really hope that they
add some stuff.
They add some cool new stuff to it. I mean, it's the possibilities for what they could add are literally limitless. I mean, it's directly plugged into their site. There's so many things they can do with it. The only person holding them back is themselves and their own creativity. So it's there's so much room for improvement.
Right. I mean, you kind of nailed it too. Like they could just add emotes or something.
Oh, many things.
Just
Many things.
just small things that would add up to create quote unquote value. Yeah,
100%.
Anyways, that's that. Did you guys see what the now CEO of Twitch did last night or yesterday? This is kind of interesting. He was on JoJo the Mofo's Bad Advice Show. And Dante, sorry, I messed up your name. That's good.
I don't know this show, but fucking, are you serious? Are you kidding me with this?
Yeah, it had, how many viewers did it have? Let's see. Oh, it had about 1,500 viewers. Anyways, he went on the show, and the first question out of the gate from, I think it was from JoJo, was how to convince his wife to let him pee on him. So that's good.
Did he answer it?
I don't know. I didn't watch the clip. I closed out. I was like, that's enough internet for me today. I'm not going to click play. But yeah, he's just there taking the question. It's like, what the fuck?
It's hard to comment on this. It's really difficult for even me to say something about this.
That's not the one that they media train you on. You don't get media trained on. How do you answer it when someone asks you to convince their wife to pee on them?
I got nothing.
If you said that I went on a show and got asked a question like that, you'd be like, yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of a Zeke thing.
That's a show that Zeke would go on,
In fact, he's probably hosting that show.
Yeah, exactly. He is the show. But, you see, the CEO go on a show, and that's the first question that they ask.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he's trying to tell us something. Like, if he's saying, like, I'm hip. I'm with you kids. You guys like peeing on people? I like peeing on people. Let's go.
I am super into urine.
I have no idea.
I don't even know why I brought this up.
Did they even talk about Twitch? Why did they even have the dude on?
I don't know. I didn't see the rest or hear anything about the rest of the show. I didn't watch I just saw the clipped moment. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if a single one of you clip that.
Oh, it's good.
Does anyone in chat know why they were on? What it was Dan, right?
Yeah, Dan Clancy went on there.
Clancy.
Yeah, why Dan was on the show in the first place? Because I get how conversations can move into pee, but I don't know, if you have the CEO of Twitch on, do you start with pee?
That's what happened.
I am kind of curious. Was that the leading question?
That was the leading first question of his.
I'm actually super curious to know how he dealt with that.
I could play the clip.
Now I'm very much wondering. Did he just laugh?
You want me to play the clip?
Keep going. Let's. You know what? Let's see the clip.
Actually, you guys won't be able to hear it, but I can tell you what he says at least.
Okay. You can narrate it, and if you could do it in the same voice that you said we were starting with at the beginning, because you sounded just like Eeyore.
I am really upset.
We're starting the show.
When we had Phil Spencer on, that wasn't my first question to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And Jeff Keighley and Brian Fargo. I know. Dude, that should have been the first.
So many
out of our
people I
mouth.
could have asked. What are your feelings on your wife peeing on you?
So now this
and subsequent follow up. How would you get her to do that?
So this is the full Twitch inception. So this is Cinebrit watching the stream. So now we're commentating on Cinebrit.
We're becoming part of the problem.
We're part of the problem. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Let's you guys won't be able to hear it, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. Okay. So we talked about this yesterday. I talked about this with some friends of mine.
Right.
And I just need basically advice on how to get my wife to agree to pee on me. It's like
so the question word for word was, I need advice on how to get my wife to pee on me.
I mean, we've been together for
And he's
like
just
married
laughing.
for like 2-3 years, but been together for 10 years.
What?
And
He doesn't answer in the clip. He doesn't answer in the clip.
Then they just move on.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
he just like laughs. Right there is like I think that's the like, oh God, what am I doing?
What have I done?
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, multi-billion-dollar business. Just like,
Yeah.
why am I on this show?
Yeah.
Why am I here?
I'll that was clipped by Zach Busey on Twitter. I'll Chad, if there's an actual answer, feel free to go seek out the VOD and let us know. But wild. Yeah. I think it is Zeke, was it you that was saying like it's Clancy trying to go like quote unquote be cool? Yeah.
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 Like, I don't want to be on the
Well,
cool.
I mean-
this is a cool kid show.
Yeah.
You got to respect the reach out. Like it's the fact that he would even take that is not something we've seen from Twitch for a while. That is so I mean the attempt is there. The attempt is
It makes me wonder if and you can answer this, JP.
Okay.
If you had like reached out and was like, "Hey, we'd like to have Dan on Drop Frames," and he turned us down, but he agreed to do that shit, and I want to know if that's the case.
I have not asked Dan to be on the show.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, the last ask was Mike Minton, and that was who was on.
Well, I'm telling you, man. I now is the time to ask because it seems like he's gonna do whatever.
If you guys want to have Dan on the show, we can have Dan on. I can ask him if he wants to be on. I'm sure I'm sure after that, we can get him to.
Yeah, doors wide open now, wide open.
Yeah,
we can have him on. Yeah.
Compared to that, we're gonna be pitching you softballs, bud. It's gonna be.
I know, right?
It's gonna be an easy
Absolutely.
time.
Yeah. That was that happened yesterday. So that's the Twitch news.
We have Dan on the show. First question. So there was this clip going around. Maybe you could explain yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I would honestly just ask him like, is this like an image repair thing? Is that why I'd be very blunt and say like, is that why you're popping up on all these different shows? Is to like, because the first image, right, is Jake and Bake last year at TwitchCon saying that he had a meeting with them and the guy just didn't quote unquote like get it. He didn't understand Twitch whatsoever.
That's right.
Yeah. And so that's stuck.
I have to admit though, the idea that like him understanding Twitch is having people ask him those types of questions is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
He's gonna like come to work the next day. And he's like, I get it. I get Twitch now. I understand what this service
that's
is.
gonna be
and
the
I quit.
Monday or the Monday like all hands meeting with the entirety of Twitch.
Oh,
Guys,
God.
I know how to fix Twitch Turbo. How many days to
Oh, my
Paris?
Lord.
I've got to get some entertainers on stage. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. That's a thing. And then apart from all that, I guess the other, I don't know if it's drama, but the other like conversation around Twitch this past week was the Diablo drop fiasco, if it could be called as such, where Diablo 4 launches this next week.
No,
What?
to be clear, Diablo gift sub fiasco.
Yes,
They're
'cause the
actually
drops
doing-
make sense. It's the gift sub fiasco. Yeah.
Yeah, because the drops, from what I understand, if you're just streaming Diablo, you get the drops. I think
Yes.
Yeah,
That
so
is
the
correct.
drops are fine. Yeah, but the gift sub thing is different.
And that was essentially that Diablo 4 is launching this next Thursday, and then for early access, and then I think it fully releases on the 5th, and that is when the drops are happening on Twitch for anyone streaming in the category, and for 96 pages of streamers, if you gift 2 subs, you get access to a mount.
Amount skin.
A mount skin, yeah. I'll pull up the image in just a sec. But the controversy around it, whatever you want to call it, is that the way that they went about doing this was that you know it better than I do. 'Cause it was the notification
Sure.
system
So,
in Twitch.
Yeah, basically, if you go into your Twitch notification settings, there is this big list of toggles that you can do. Things like, sub messages from people you're sub to, people who follow you, all this kind of stuff. And there's this one toggle on there that is for, I think, marketing and promotional material from Twitch. Now, many of us, including myself, have had that toggled off forever. We've had zero reason to have it.
Yeah.
There's been no reason, et cetera, et cetera. However, when Blizzard contacted Twitch about this whole shebang, Twitch then notified partners via this specific thing. So it occurred in two places. If you had that toggle on, you got a big email telling you to sign up for this gift support a streamer program. And also, if you click a little box that's at the top of your dashboard and look in that box, there was also an entry in there. So what this did is 92 pages of streamers from all over the globe, in some cases like people that streamed Diablo less than an hour but saw this.
Yeah, I'll pull up the list. Hold on.
Applied and got access to this. However, there's a huge amount of relatively larger streamers, myself, I think Asmongold, Black, Gassy Mexican, all over the place, that have never needed or been told to pay attention to these links and just completely missed the bus. So now Blizzard is saying verbatim, the list is full, no one else is getting in. Sorry, have a good one. So it's the weird thing here is that there was very little PR about it. It used this one method of communication that not a lot of people know about. It was just strange. And there's some streamers, me not being one of them, but there's some streamers that are pretty furious over. As there's no question that this promotion is going to get some streamers like literally thousands and thousands of dollars just by being in it. So it's a big deal for some folks, understandably. And they feel like they were just not told about it. It wasn't brought up to them and that kind of thing. So
yeah,
that's the fiasco, quote unquote. But really, at the end of the day, all it is it's a marketing thing that used a method that people weren't expecting, and a lot of folks didn't sign up that wanted to. All it really is.
Yeah. We were kind of talking about this before the show started.
And there's two more fiascos, but we'll get into those in a minute.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, you're right. We'll get to the news of that. I forgot about that. The like gifted sub for X thing has existed. There's been a couple of them on Twitch. There's one for Final Fantasy 14. I think there was one for WoW as well. And there's always been quote unquote issues with it. As soon as like that comes into play and it's a restricted list or it's a chosen list, as it were, someone's going to come away unhappy.
Someone's getting screwed.
Yeah, someone's going to get screwed in terms of the streamers, in that regard. So it's I don't know the like perfect. I guess the solution is to just like either give it to everyone or give it to none. But then then it becomes like, well, then the bigger streamers just sit on the top and like no one else gets the gifted subs after that.
Yep. And then you run into those situations like where a lot of streamers with different games did, where they will like just put themselves at the top of the category, but not even playing the game.
Yeah, totally.
Which is a huge issue.
Totally.
And Twitch can't really police that because they gave up on that years ago.
Yeah. So in that regard, like maybe the answer is don't do it. I don't know. Like I don't know the perfect example there or the perfect solution there.
It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Right. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Let's I think that's all of the Twitch news. I think the other two things were Blizzard related, and one of them was were you talking about the race situation?
Two of them. So the race is one of them, and then the Q&A was another. But the race situation, I got to admit, like it right now it's kind of messed up. But it has the potential to be insanely messed up.
Sure.
And the thing that happened here is a select group of YouTubers were given a full version of Diablo IV. Diablo then announced there is this race for the people who are getting to the hardcore level 100 first, are getting like engraved statues and stuff like that, which is fine. But the thing is that there are also subsequent races going on for like the first of this class to max level, the first max level overall. Like there's all sorts of these races going on hardcore. And first of all, it's messed up that you even have a competition like that, and then give a swath of people the game early, because they're going to be able to theory craft end game builds. They're going to know what classes are the best. You know, if they put a lot of time into it, obviously they're going to have a huge advantage. But what's going to be hilarious is if one of the people that like gets world first hardcore of like a class or overall, if they are one of the people that got a key early, it is going to be a fiasco.
Yeah.
Like it is going to be an actual fiasco. Like the speed running community, the speed leveling community, all the people participating in those things are going to absolutely lose their ish if one of those people happens to win. Now, obviously, 1,000 people are getting hardcore to level 100 first. So, if a handful of them make it, whatever. That's an endurance grind. That's a little bit different, in my opinion. But if we start seeing people take like these very top spots because they know exactly how to metagame and before anyone else can even test it, yeah, that's going to be a thing.
Yeah. I think what kind of set all this off too is Rod Ferguson, who is the head of Diablo. I think I don't know if that's his official title, but kind of the person that oversees all of Diablo things at Blizzard. Got a tweet sent at him about saying, can we talk about how those same creators are competing in the race event you guys announced? That gives an extreme unfair advantage. This is not a new season. Setting a precedent of unfair advantage is not a good look. And his response was, how does deleting all of their progress and making them start at the same time as everyone else give them an unfair advantage? Which...
a very tone-deaf response. Very, like,
yeah, I
kind of shows a pretty big lack of understanding of the situation.
Yeah, I don't know how, like, information is how you win, Rod.
100%.
Knowledge of doing a thing faster than another person is
knowing
all
what build to go. I mean, no one has played beyond level 20, and these people are going to be like, they may know exactly what their build's going to be to parry.
No. We gave everybody a hammer, nails, and wood at the same exact time. And now, like, just because some people know already how to build a birdhouse doesn't give them an unfair advantage in building a birdhouse from scratch against other people.
Yeah.
Right?
It's going to be a thing.
Okay.
It's going to be a big old thing.
Just so we're on the same page. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of a bad look. A lot of people are saying just to like wait till season 1 begins. But I think this whole thing is obviously a marketing push. And less of like an actual, for Blizzard at least, and less of an actual competition type deal. But we'll see. I don't know if they're, oh, okay. Someone in my chat just now says they're changing it, by the way. Adam Fletcher, aka Pez Radar, who's the community manager for Diablo, already replied to Ziz. So I guess they are going to change something about it. I don't know if he gave specifics, but
wait, hold on.
Something.
That's the first I've heard of that. Hold on.
Yeah. He said they're making an announcement.
His radar is actually pretty awesome.
He's incredible. Yeah, he's
kind of a boss. So
he is working overtime to say the least.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Does he say specifics? Are you looking it up right now? It was
yeah,
apparently
I'm trying to see if I can find.
It was apparently a tweet to Ziz.
Okay. But yeah.
Someone in my chat, Activision Blizzard presents Birdhouse 4.
It's true. They could make some money off that. Are his replies just crazy? You can't find it?
His replies are like this dude is literally working overtime answering every question every single person.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know if we're gonna find it right now.
Well, we'll see. Come Monday's a holiday here in the US, so they'll probably put out something Tuesday.
Now, just a question of semantics. Like when you say Diablo like community manager, do they work for?
Yes.
Like the Diablo.
Oh, they're Blizzard employees.
They're Blizzard employees.
They're Blizzard employees.
Yeah, he's not doing it like
Pez
for
Radar.
fun.
Adam Fletcher left Digital Extremes to work with Blizzard on Diablo.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is their job.
Yeah, and he's very good at it. Always on top of it for sure.
Oh, Turbo says he wrote it in his Twitch chat, not on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know he was on Twitter. That's amazing.
Or on Twitch, you mean? Yeah.
You can also add to the discussion, many people can't buy the deluxe editions to get the game early. Wait, do you mean because of the cost, or do you mean because they're limited somehow? Did they limit those?
No, I think just because of the cost. Yeah, I think if you,
yeah,
essentially what they're saying
it is
is
expensive. It's like $100, right?
Yeah,
something crazy.
Essentially, if you don't have early access, there's no way you can win the race. Which
completely.
Yeah, someone I don't know if this is factual, but or maybe they were just throwing numbers around, but someone was like, it'll take 4 days for someone to hit max level or some shit. So, I don't know.
For the record, somebody said there's
So-
no way they would limit how many are sold. I completely see a world where they would, because they wouldn't want to overload the servers for the people paying extra. Like that's
Yeah.
absolute. Like we've seen other games do that in the past.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, that
Especially in
adds
most.
an extra element of shittiness to it as far as like the race goes. If you have to buy the $100 version, like you have to buy like
yeah.
to participate, and then on top of that, other people get an unfair advantage. Like that would fucking chap my hide too, dude. I get like even more so. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting thing for sure. What was the other? I saw like clips of this, and so I had a take, but I think my take was uninformed. So I'll let you hopefully fully inform me.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's everyone's. You could argue is kind of uninformed about this because the way that it works is that Blizzard has been doing these Q&As where they have been claiming that the questions are coming from chats or Twitter or things of that nature.
Okay.
And there have been streamers who have followed the breadcrumbs, so to speak, and found that these accounts don't actually exist.
Okay.
So that has then created, of course, this huge, like, are you guys just making up questions to ask yourself what's going on? Blizzard claims that they're making the names Anon. So they're saying that they're doing that purposefully, to anonymize the thing.
And that's what I thought. That's where my mind went.
That's where Blizzard is. But but of course the sure Jan people are not exactly without ammo in that situation.
Sure.
And some streamers have tried to go as far as like parsing chat logs, looking for these questions and searching for exact wordings on Twitter and all sorts of stuff. And let's just say it's kind of a weird situation. And a lot of people are like, why didn't you just have the questions without names? Why did you make up names? Like, why would you put this bullseye on yourself?
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird situation. It's a weird situation.
Yeah, my chat
it's kind of one of those issues. It's a non-issue, but a lot of people like to, knock on Blizzard whenever they can, and this is another one of those.
Totally, yeah. People in my chat are saying that it was a third party who managed the Q&A, and they were the ones that did that, and it had nothing to do with Blizzard. So, I don't know. The whole thing just seems, given Blizzard's track, maybe don't do Q&As.
Or maybe just come up with your own questions. Commonly asked questions.
Yeah, maybe make an FAQ and that's it.
I'm seeing so many different things being said in chat right now.
It's like, I'd love to see them like do an FAQ, but like actual FAQ of like okay, first frequently asked question. Let's see what it is. What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay. Let's see if we can parse. Let's unpack that a little.
Yeah. I guess Pez has a response within a Reddit thread about this. Let's see if this pinpoints it. Okay, he said that the thread was all the questions in Blizzard's Q4 Q&A video are fake. D4 Q&A video are fake. All accounts don't exist are from the video creator and his all Twitter account. He responded and said, brought this up on the Diablo IV subreddit, but this was an interview Joe and John did on an EU press tour last week with numerous outlets. This interview questions came from the media outlet, and we just answer them. The team is following up with the outlet to ask where the questions came from. Got it. Okay. So I guess that was 1 day ago. So I suppose that's the final word on all of that for now.
Cool.
God, I wonder if he knew that was going to be his job a week prior to launching this game, is going on Reddit and giving the final say on interview question names being faked. It's just like, what a mess. What an absolute shit show. We'll see what happens over the next week. Yeah, I wonder what else is going to pop up from that stuff. I think review embargo lifts Tuesday. So then I guess it's going to be find the journalist that you don't agree with and target them day. Like, I don't know how that's going to go. We'll really just have to see. I think
that'll be a thing.
YouTubers also got access as well. So it's like the full embargo release. I know like Force, for example, who is a well-known D4 guy.
He's the one that he got flown out to have like dinner with them and stuff.
Yeah.
Him and a few other YouTubers. Yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah, so that'll all be out there at the start of the work week here in the U.S. On Tuesday. I don't know what time, but sometime in the morning. I'm sure like 9 a.m. Pacific or noon Pacific, something like that. We will see, and that'll kind of set the tone, I think, for Thursday's launch for early access, which should be an interesting time to see how the servers go, and foretelling, I guess, of how the servers will be on actual launch the following Tuesday. We'll see what's up with that. An interesting time, without a doubt.
For sure.
We covered the PlayStation event. There was a little bit of news for Marathon after that event.
ARG.
Yeah, the ARG. Co, you were a part of the unwillingly.
They sent me a. So I was hanging outside with my kids and my wife, and this car pulled up, and the guy walked out with just a package.
Man, that's a thing to do in America today.
And I signed for it. And I was like, what is this? And it had like confidential on it. And you can see my tweet for it. It was this very cryptic letter, like a cryptic RP letter. And it was these 2 code cards and a cipher and like all this stuff. Now, of course, in classic internet fashion, by the time I even uploaded this stuff to the internet, another guy who had gotten it already solved it. And what it was a cryptic link to a live YouTube channel that basically had a whole bunch of graphics and saying that something would kick off at 7,777 viewers. It then did, and it was a dev video for Marathon. Unfortunately, like 0 gameplay or really anything that we hadn't seen. There was nothing new. It was just a bunch of people talking, and it was it was basically just like, we're making this universe. It's going to be, we're focusing on making it look very, very pretty and fun. It's going to be an extraction shooter. Everyone's playing the game here and enjoying it. We hope you do too. And we're going to go quiet for a while we work on it. So next time you hear from us, we'll have a bunch of news on what it is.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. You're right. That was all that was said.
That was kind of cool. I never figured out how to solve the puzzle. I mean, apparently it was pretty complicated. The guy that solved it apparently ran it through like a punch card reader or something. So, I mean, I tried lining it up in like 100 different ways and couldn't extrapolate anything. So I'm not quite sure how it was done. I'm sure there's a video explaining it at this point. But yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I remember I in our Discord channel, I messaged you the live link. He said, yeah, they just showed up at my house. And I was like, is that how they got to this? And you're like,
yeah,
I think so.
I think. I don't know.
It was kind of solved already, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I looked at that. That's one of the rare times that I've been jealous of Co. Like, well, let's be honest. It's not one of the rare times, but it's one of the many times that I've been jealous of Co. Because I looked at that, I'm like, ooh, puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even a puzzle. It was like you could hold the card. If you look at the cards, there's some places where the numbers line up with the grooves in the punch card, like the cipher, I'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
But I literally tried every set that I could, and nothing else. It's not like there were hidden numbers anywhere else on it. So, like, I was thinking maybe if you lined up the numbers properly, so they were in the cascading numbers, that maybe like at the top you could start filling in like the different blocks with like a YouTube code or something. But I couldn't get it to work. I'm too dumb for those things. You picked the wrong guy, Bungie.
Yeah.
You did your best, but you picked the wrong guy.
Yeah. And then that Sony event happened. We have a VOD-ish up. My power went out halfway through that thing, so it kind of got spliced with just me on it. I think on the topic of that, I haven't actually talked to you guys about this, but I think all of our Keeley 3 what's the Coachella thing? Geoffchella? Geoffchella, there you go. Yeah, sorry.
Geoffchella.
I had to think about it. Yeah. Key 3, Summer Games, Jeff, whatever you want to call it. I think we might just do that the same way.
I like Summer Games, Jeff, because it's not even a play on E3.
Yeah, it's not. I just like it. It's great. I read that.
So we would each do our own viewing and then see up at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only because the past 2 events we've had, like, I go into those and my anxiety is just peaked because it's like, all right, we fixed the internet issue. It's not good. My fucking power went out. The first thing I message you guys is not what happened. It's just go live on your channels. My power went out type deal.
We'll watch the stream on our channel solo.
Yeah.
And then right when the show ends, me and Zeke will disconnect for a second, and then we'll all jump in drop frames, and it'll go live again on everyone's channel. Or can we just keep it running?
That's up to y'all. I mean, it depends on how much like post discussion we have, or we could just keep it separate
just jump in
completely.
Discord or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I would like to have like some post show discussion. I think that's kind of fun of some kind.
I mean,
we can just do it over Discord.
Yeah, we can just hang out on Discord the entire time too, if that works.
Okay, let's just do that then. That sounds good.
Yeah. Because I don't want that to happen again.
We appreciate the consideration.
The anxiety of it dropping drives me insane to where I can't even like focus on the show, especially I have it happening twice now. I'm just like, oh, that's a cool game. Are the stream still up? Is the stream running? We're good. All right, yeah, that's a cool game, guys. That's how it was. Anyways, the PlayStation event happened. I thought it seemed like coming out of that the internet was going to be like, that was the fucking worst, but everyone was pretty okay with it. Like it
was very middle of the road.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but it certainly wasn't mind blowing. Yeah. It was like just kind of there.
Yeah. And right before we started, Co was basically saying like they wanted to go first because they didn't necessarily have that much to show in terms of like crazy shit. And I kind of agree with that. I think that makes sense.
Funny enough, did you see the tweet I retweeted?
At least not off the top of my head. I don't know what that means. So
there are industry insiders that are saying that they know for a fact that Sony had things ready to announce they didn't, and they are saying that we may be getting another show. Which is
I wonder if they'll try to bookend it.
That's like exactly what we were saying.
Yeah.
So they would have like the lackluster show at the beginning, get all the stuff that may not be super hyped, because there were a lot of like little indie project things at that show. Have a nice big closer with Spider-Man, which everyone kind of loves, and then let HeliCon happen. And then as soon as that's done, come in like mid-July, early August, and like actually drop some bombshells. Like, here's a bunch of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth stuff. Here's some big unannounced stuff. Like, you know, they could potentially, just like you said, bookend it with kind of their own stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe announce a Bloodborne remaster. Oh man, I tell you,
that would break the internet. At least that
would actually break the internet.
Our corner of the internet.
A couple
would break.
things, definitely. Like,
yeah.
This was like an aperitif. Here you go. Here's a little tidbits, but we're not done yet. We're gonna tell you we're done, but we're not done yet.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
No, everyone knows we're not really done.
And then Naughty Dog, like, so everyone thought that they were going to show Factions, which is Naughty Dog's Last of Us multiplayer thing, and like they put out
that too. Then
they put out the like tweet, and so
now that's not looking so good. Apparently, it had something to do with Bungie. You hear about that?
Yeah. So what? Like people, I'm a little shocked that they had to put this out to begin with. Was this in response to what the journalists were saying in terms of the game being like downsized, or was this just because people were expecting it to be there? Do y'all know? Like, I don't know timeline wise if people were just pissed off because they wanted to see it and they've spun this out or created this. I don't know. It's a strange thing. I don't know if the internet was up in arms or if they were trying to like jump on it as fast as possible because The Last of Us has created, let's say, some social media moments in the past couple of years. And so they wanted to control the narrative as fast as possible. But yeah, they put this out, and then somewhere in the timeline, I don't know, was it Jason Schreier who said that, Co, about the game being downsized and the Bungie?
Jason Schreier apparently asked about it.
Okay.
And I think he may have even, I'm not 100%, but I think he may have written an article.
Okay.
And it could have been related to that whole thing.
Yeah. Apparently, like, Bungie saw it, and the project...
Not Bungie. Naughty Dog?
Or, no. Bungie saw it at PlayStation. And
yeah.
Yeah, they were like brought on to see the project, or someone at Bungie was brought on to see the project, and because of their feedback, people were like moved off of it, and the project was condensed
Yeah.
and a little bit smaller.
Feedback was like, I think they were concerned about its longevity given its features or something like
Yeah.
for a live service game, which is kind of wild.
Right.
Wild. I guess Bungie would be seen in the industry as kind of like the live service masters with Destiny.
Well, that PlayStation bottom, right? They probably want the expertise on everything. Jason Schreier made the article on it. That's why Naughty Dog posted on Twitter, because Jason gave them a heads up for comment. Got it. So they anticipated pushback. Okay. All right. I get that. That makes sense. They also say in the thing is that they are working on a brand new single player experience, whatever that is. So maybe that's something, we were talking about having another show from Sony bookending the rest of this summer. Maybe they show something then. That would be kind of cool to see a new Naughty Dog project. But yeah, a lot. This is becoming the norm now. Is we get these like giant Twitter apologies for things.
Oh God! Somebody when the Gollum apology thing came out, somebody made a massive montage of like all the apology letters in the last 2 years.
Let's
like
talk
42 of them or something crazy. It was
Lord of the Rings Gollum. Either of you play it?
Do we have
no.
to?
So
I heard about it non-fucking stop that day, and chat was just like going off making jokes the whole day, having a fucking time of it.
If we're really going to talk about this, I feel we need to bring on an expert. His name is Dan S Gaming.
Dan finished it.
He is the Twitch expert of Gollum.
Yeah, I would also
he may be able to
say
give us some insight.
I would also say he is the TikTok expert of Gollum.
Yes,
because I don't
know Gollum expert.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but because this game is so dog shit, no one else on TikTok is playing it and posting clips apart from Dan. And so Dan's TikTok has blown the fuck up because he just has clips of awful segments. Well, I should say they're not awful because they're so plentiful. He just like put a bunch of clips of him playing the game. And man, this game's bad. It's a doozy of a video game.
Game's bad.
It's Skill Up's thing is Lord of the Rings Gollum is the worst thing I've played this year. In fact, it's the worst thing I've played in a long time. My review. It's I guess the like worst reviewed game of the year so far.
Yep.
Just across the board, no one is saying it's good. not enjoying it whatsoever. So I guess Microsoft can sleep easy, right? It's not Redfall anymore. It's Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Yeah.
Yeah. My chat has requested that I put this on my wheel, so now there's a segment for when I hit the Subathon thing. If I hit this, I have to play Gollum for 15 minutes. So
was there a cool two word review for this one like there was for Turdfall?
I don't know. I did not see it.
Lord of the Turd.
Yeah.
Gollum or something like that.
Lord of the Turds, maybe.
You know what, JP? I gotta say, 15 minutes. I think that should be more like an hour.
Well, there's also another thing on the wheel that doubles it, so it could be 30 minutes, and we spin that wheel every.
I don't know. I think 1 hour and 2 hours is a lot better.
Don't take my Diablo time from me, Cope.
I think that's okay. That's fair.
Don't take my Diablo
time. Brewster from your chat, JP. Lord of the Rings, got him.
Oh yeah, so we didn't even
fucking brilliant.
Thank you, Brewster, for reminding me. The craziest part of this whole fucking game is that it's not $20, it's not $40, it's $60 or $70 if you buy the deluxe edition.
And then there is lore-based DLC that actually
within the $70 edition.
Yep.
It adds lore,
God, dude.
and it adds voice acting. As part of the deluxe edition, you get elven voice acting for the elf characters.
Literally voice acting that was removed from the full version of the game so they could charge you for it after the fact.
Yeah.
It's
that's crazy.
The situation is honestly pretty amazing.
That's crazy.
It's pretty amazing.
That's
emotes pack. What's this?
Oh yeah, there's also in-game emotes as part of the deluxe pack. There's 4 different things.
It's single player, right?
Yeah.
So you can emote to yourself.
Yeah. It's wild.
Woo!
It's a bad game.
Wow.
Also, they must not have a competent or many. Put it back up for a second.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Just 1 second. They must not have a competent copy editor or something like that, because in the very first sentence they misspell their game. It's the Lord of the Ring Gollum.
Oh man, and that's the trademark thing too. Like, how do you mess that up?
Yep.
My
It's like
Oopsie
literally right
doodles.
there. It's literally right here.
Yeah.
How do you, man? Oh man, I didn't see that. That's
Oh wait,
awesome.
no, it's the Lord of Ring. Not even they missed
Lord
the too.
of Ring. It's not even Lord of the Ring.
Wow.
And they trademarked it.
You know, we put out the game. It's same game as other game. It's Lord of Ring. Lord of Ring got him. We have it. It's right here. Same thing. Same
Did they
inside.
chat
It's the same thing.
GPT
You don't
the
know.
apology letter?
You won't know
Is
difference.
that what
I
happened?
promise.
Oh man.
And they even later in it say the Lord of the Rings fans. Like they
Yeah, you're
know.
right.
They know.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I didn't know
God,
that.
dude. Unbelievable.
That's wild.
Just
That's a thing. Yeah. Dan finished the game yesterday or the day prior. He was streaming it for like 3 days. So that's a pretty long game.
so
I asked my chat. I honestly asked my chat. I said, after hearing some of the people talk about this, I said, is this a game that's so bad it's good? Like, it would be fun to play it. And they said resoundingly. Usually when I do like just a poll of the chat, it's like, there'd be a couple of trolls that'd be like, yeah, 100% no. 100%
Wow.
across the board.
even the trolls were like, you know what, Zeke? I don't even like you as a person,
Wow.
but I would not want to subject you to this game.
Yeah.
We may have our differences, but my tiny amount of respect dictates I cannot
What-
lie to you on this.
I mean, that turn of phrase that everybody knows, like, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. That was it.
God.
That was
Oh
it.
my
That was
God.
like the thing that they wouldn't. They were like, I say a lot of trolly things to you, Zeke, and this is where I would draw the line. No, this game is not so bad it's good. It's so bad it's bad, real bad. Don't do this to yourself or us.
Not even fun to
I was
watch.
like, oh wow, okay.
Nice. This is what you did, chat. This is what you did. This is skill of thumbnail.
198 mostly negative reviews.
Oh, on Steam?
Yeah.
Nice.
Highly flawed in every way possible.
Man.
That looks like an infant that you
Christian.
added like fake teeth to
God, dude.
and like
Christian.
roughed up its
not
skin a little bit.
Christian. Not recommended. Pre-release review. Product received for free. His review is one line. I would like a refund.
Oh man. what a thing. The funnier you look at
Captain Falcor played the game for 0.2 hours. His review. No.
Wait, so
I said no.
chat, how long is the game? Is it like 20 plus hours? Because like, how did Dan get 3 or 4 streams out of that? It's 8 to 10 hours. Oh,
Because he saw his first TikTok, JP.
that's probably true. Yeah.
I mean, hell, dude, if something like that's going well, I mean, finish it up, man. Finish it up. He also got great numbers during the whole playthrough. Like, good for
Yep.
Dan, man.
Yeah.
Somebody needed. Here's the thing. Somebody on Twitch needed
had
do
to.
it. Somebody had to do it, and Dan stepped up for all of us.
He did.
And he fell on his sword, and it's one of the reasons that he will always and forever be an OG. He really took one for the team, and I think I speak for all of us when I say we appreciate it.
Yeah. It's his birthday, by the way.
Such a
Today.
nice guy. He's like a
Is it really?
he's like a bad
Hey,
he's like a bad feeling a battery. Like he just takes it in and it powers him. Like it doesn't affect him actually like it would affect a normal person. Yeah. He's so positive and such a decent human being. Like it kind of like goes into Dan and like you know how plants make light into energy and stuff like that. Like that's what he does with negativity, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. I can't look at this image. I laughed at this image for about 10 minutes straight the other day. If you're at all curious, by the way, you can watch one. Go to Dan's TikTok. You can see how bad the game is there. If you want to see a reviewer,
there's a lot of very quality TikToks.
Yeah, if you want to see a reviewer absolutely destroy it, go watch Skillup's review because he does that in spades. It's a shit show. It's rough. I think that's it. Is there any other news you guys saw over the past week?
Oh, so apparently Jack LaFleur from my channel said you should watch the 3 minutes after Dan completed the game. You will see a new side of him. Oh, really?
Oh.
Well, I will look for it.
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
I don't either.
Wonder if he's just angry or what. Wonder if that gets put on the old TikToks.
Could be.
What? What did you? Oh, should be. Gotcha. Did either of you watch that Alone in the Dark spotlight event that happened?
I played the prologue.
Oh, they put out a prologue for it.
They did.
Is it good?
Prologue.
David Harbour's in it? Like, what? Can you tell me what that is?
I have to say this. The prologue is 16 gigabytes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
Is it 4K textures or like what the fuck?
I think you download the whole game and then just play a little of it. I have no idea. But I mean, I was downloading like 16 gigs and I was like, wow, this is beefy. And then like literally, I think it took 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes and it was done. I have to say,
that's why I didn't do it.
It's weird, but it's pretty. And it's actually like the world and the setting is super cool. And there's like some Cthulhian stuff. And yeah, dude, of the little bit I played, the little taste, it was a good taste. Like I'm looking forward to this game. I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I was gonna show footage until you said it was 8 minutes long. I don't want to show the whole game.
It's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. Yeah,
it's free, right? You don't have to pre-order or anything.
Oh yeah, you can just download it. It's like a demo. Right. I mean, it literally is like just the very beginning of this little thing.
Got it.
And hey, I mean, if you got some space on your hard drive open, it's worth it. It's cool. I mean, just do it at the beginning of a stream and kind of fun.
How is David Harbour playing a main character? Like, how is he involved? I saw that was a thing.
So the prologue, without spoilers, the prologue is not about him. So I do believe he is a main character.
Okay, that was the
Alone in the Dark franchise. It's interesting because I have played Alone in the Dark in the past, and I mean, when Alone in the Dark came out, we're talking like entire character models were like maybe 9 octagons. So I mean, like it was there was no faces or anything like that back in the day. They were just like representations of people. So it was the kind of thing where this is the first time we're going to actually see like real people. And I think there may have been an Alone in the Dark game between then and now, maybe. But I mean, this is the first time we seem to be getting like an actual awesome, good looking remake. Excuse me, not remake. I think reboot. I don't know if it's actual remake, but TLDR, art's great. You should give it a try, and it's beautiful and it's fun.
Okay. And then there was also the Skulls event. Did you end up watching that?
I watched the highlights.
Okay, that's what
I did not watch the whole thing. Yeah, apparently the show itself was a bit lackluster. A lot of mobile stuff, a lot of cash grabby things. But they did announce a game called Speed Freaks, which is like a Twisted Metal kind of game. I actually played that for like an hour or so. Nice. It was fun. I mean, I had a good time with it. Really unbalanced and needs work, but I mean, it was cool. And then they had Space Marine 2 stuff. That game is looking so good. Space Marine 2 is just looking phenomenal. And then they had Rogue Trader stuff. Rogue Trader is going into beta on June 1st. We're actually getting the beta on June 1st, which means like maybe a release this year. Like it's kind of wild. Like the roadmap for that game is going super fast.
Was that the alpha that they had out that you played a while back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the alpha has been out for a bit. And I think they even had a pre-alpha bit before that. But yeah, it's going to beta into June 1st. They talked a little bit about the Space Marine companion, who looks to be rather boss-like. And they also did a little bit of a preview with the ship combat, which is kind of like the meta game of Rogue Trader. Each Pathfinder game had kind of like a meta game. First it was city building, and then it was like this meta army management thing. This game, Rogue Trader, has like a base building expansion plus this ship combat game thing that they're putting in.
Okay.
As somebody who played a little bit of it in alpha, I thought it was fun. I had a great time with it.
Cool.
But yeah, it's looks like it's making some good progress.
Nice. I saw Power Wash Simulators doing a crossover with Warhammer.
Yep.
Sure. Is that are you cleaning up like
You
blood and
gotta think
viscera
that those-
or
I
gotta
have
think
no
that the
idea.
Those suits of those Space Marines wear, they gotta stank because they barely ever take those things off. Like those things are gonna be just a fucking like locker room squared inside those things.
I hope you're just like cleaning up a like
Blood and viscera.
yeah. What was there was a game that already did that though, right? Not with Warhammer.
Oh,
but,
there was the Alien Viscera cleanup crew or whatever.
Yeah. I guess that's just
Yeah.
that game. So maybe they don't want to just make that game again. But
Could be.
yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying to see if there's any other stuff from that was big. There was the Realms of Ruin, the announced trailer, from Age of Sigmar, and I think is that going to be at Summer Game Fest in some form? Do you
That's the
remember that?
RTS, right?
Yeah. They said it was an
Yeah.
RTS, but it was more
Zero gameplay. I don't think
Okay.
anyone really knows anything about it. Yeah.
Yeah. New RTS was announced. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's all the news.
Darkaros, I think that's a great idea. Warhammer Kart Racer.
Isn't that kind of what
they
that
could
is?
do that with the orcs, no problem.
Yeah.
No,
Or
the
Speed Freaks?
Speed Freaks is definitely Twisted Metal. It's it's team versus team. It's just destroy the
Oh.
other vehicle. There's no
Oh,
there
okay.
is a little
Okay.
bit of racing between objectives, which is kind of interesting, especially considering they have like tanks and stuff. So they apparently just don't participate in that. But it's basically a Destructo Derby kind of deal.
Okay.
Got it.
Sorry, I misinterpreted what that was saying.
No, I think you're fine.
Everybody gets one, Zeke.
Everyone want a show. We had to
One
up
show.
it for Zeke.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's been a few more than that every day for me. I'm sure. Yeah. And listen. I appreciate it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you
Yeah, no problem.
that you give me a little more leeway than anyone else on the show.
No problem. Let's talk some video games. Zeke, what have you been
Those are
what's
fun.
it's been 2 weeks really since we've talked what y'all been playing because we talked Zelda last week with Goth. What Zeke, what's your first thing that comes to mind that you've been playing the past 2 weeks? We'll go there.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is something that happened recently. I beat Darkest Dungeon 2, the Act 5 boss. I beat the
Awesome.
Act 5 boss on stream.
Nice.
Thankfully, I even said backseat open. Go ahead and backseat me all you want and all this kind of shit. And the thing is, like, they the backseaters didn't really tell me anything I hadn't already, like, because I had seen the Act 5 boss once on my own time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm gonna try and beat it on stream since we have some hours to kill. And all the stuff that I had previously known, I already knew. But thankfully, no one in my chat spoiled, like, because it's without like really getting into any details, it's the Act 3 boss had phases. The Act 5 boss has phases as well. So
Sure.
no real spoilers there.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a gamer, like, and you go and you see the first phase, you're like, oh shit, this can't be it, because it's like this much health, and you're like, I'm doing this much damage. You're like, oh fuck, okay.
Yeah.
So, didn't really tell me much more than I needed to know, or didn't tell me anything about it. And then I figured out the last like phase mechanic and stuff like that. I actually was able to figure that out on my own. Chat didn't actually spoil that for me, so it was nice.
Nice.
But got there, beat it. It was a long fight. That's the thing about Darkest Dungeon 2, that the biggest change, like, for me from 1 to 2, obviously the mechanics and how it plays out like a roguelite and all that kind of stuff. But the time it takes, like, to do a run. Like, our run in the first Darkest Dungeon was, I don't know, half hour, maybe an hour if it's a real big one. This one is like 2 hours, 3 hours, like, for like one run to a boss. and everything just takes that much longer in this one. And the boss fights, they can like the final boss fight took quite a bit of time to actually get all the way through it and get it down and stuff. And also I take a fuckload of time because I make sure like I'm doing things like, okay, don't do this because of this, don't do this because of this. You know, I'm taking things into consideration, all that kind of stuff. But I apparently had the right team comp. I had the right like you get these relationship between your 4 players. You get these relationship events that happen at inns. They can be either positive or negative. And I made sure that the relationships were all up. They had a good amount and the right kind of relationship bonuses going into the fight that really, really helped. So like if one player does this action, it heals this player for 10% of their health, stuff like that. So I had good bonuses when it comes to that. I had a good team comp. If you want to know what my team comp was, it was because this isn't it, but
this is
my team comp
like 14 days ago footage. So
my team comp was Man-at-Arms, Highwayman, Jester, and Plague Doctor. That was the team comp that I used to finish the final boss with.
Okay,
very nice.
But yeah, so as soon as I got through that, it was just like a huge like sigh of relief. Like I finally did it, and I'm wondering like I'm excited to see what like the DLC they come up with, because it took me quite a few hours, and I did most of it off stream. You know, people would come in and I was like, last time I was here, he was struggling on the Act 3 boss. Like, yeah, I played a lot. Like I was like neck deep in War Tales, and then Darkest Dungeon 2 came out, and everything got just shoved to the side. Like all of my free time off stream was spent like, just grinding, playing, whatever. But yeah, I have nothing but good stuff to say about it. Well, excuse me, not nothing but good stuff, but mostly good stuff to say about it. Like I said, the things that really detract from it are like how long like runs take, but also like if you want to fight a boss again, you have to go through an entire run again to get to that boss. And it's not like a regular roguelike where, like Hades or just pick your favorite roguelike, where you can like do a run in a certain like, reasonable amount of time. These ones take a fucking long time.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest complaint is that if you get to a boss and you want to figure out the mechanic and you just get crushed the first time through, you like, it really, really, just breaks your spirit because you're like, fuck, that was 2.5 hours. And now I just want to go back and figure out the mechanic of the boss again. And it makes you really want to look it up and cheat. Cheat.
Well,
Like, you want to look
somebody
up the strats.
Yeah.
I saw somebody suggest that you could spend like a third of your gained candles to try a fight again. And I was like, that actually sounds like a pretty idea. That wouldn't be.
Oh, spend candles to try the boss fight again?
Yeah. Because because here's the thing.
That would be cool.
Not only are the boss fights like the kind of thing where they give you hints, but a lot of times they give you the hints with how the fight plays out. So it's like if you don't, the boss fights can be hard even if you know exactly what you're doing. But if you go in with the wrong team comp or the wrong item or the wrong trophy equipped, like that's it. You're done. like you are not going to win that fight in a lot of cases. So yeah, it's pretty brutal in that regard, actually.
Well, and not only that, but like I'm sure anybody who's played this has had several runs where they're like on the last area and they get they're fucking limping into the very last inn before the mountain, and the last cosmic battle that you have to fight before you go to the inn just wombo combos one of your people. And your team comp, like one person is dead. Like you can have a party wipe, or you can just have like one person dead, and then you go to the inn, and they give you someone who does not fit your team comp at all, and you're just like, I've got the last boss of this area to go to, and I've got this shitty person who doesn't even match. And they are, and the relationships start like way low as well. Like when you pick them up, it's just a fucking kick in the teeth.
For the two of you, I'm curious because once Zelda came out, I stopped kind of playing everything. But I was playing this off stream on a second run, and I never saw the Act 3 boss, but I think I finished the Act 2 boss is where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious for y'all as people that have, you've beaten it, right? You beat it as well?
Yep.
Okay. For people that have finished the game, do you get to a state of like overpoweredness, or is it always just fucking hard?
You can, if you use certain comps and you know what you're doing and you've unlocked a bunch of items, your chances of doing well skyrocket.
Okay.
So like the thing about this game is it is a roguelite in the truest sense, to where, like some classes are really made by their abilities that they get later in their progression. Some classes really are not great to start with. So, if it's the kind of thing where you're starting around and you're like, okay, I'm going to turn off these 4 abilities. We're going to put this one on and this one on, and these last 2 are the last 2 they get. That character is going to be significantly more better. And especially if you synergize them properly, a lot more powerful in a group than say a bunch of vanilla guys. On top of that, there's passive bonuses they get from spending candles. There are items, like signature items, that get unlocked with that. And as you also get to, a huge part of this game is a relationship. And as you start unlocking more and more ways to deal with relationship stuff, relationship is huge. A couple bad relationship rolls at the beginning of an area can like ruin that area. If you make it so your top damage dealer is constantly stressing out the guy that is you need to get the less stress on every time he attacks, like that's a huge problem. Same thing. There's just all sorts of things that can cause issues like that. So yes, the short answer is the more you play this game, the easier it gets.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, because I was not noticing that, but I also was kind of just trying a bunch of different classes out, and so they weren't really. I didn't have like all the skills unlocked or any of the items or anything like that you were referencing. So I'm sure that had to do with it.
There's a couple things that I want to say as far as like what enhanced my enjoyment and kept me playing this game. One of them is, the watchword for me for this entire, like for Darkest Dungeon 1 to a certain degree, but to a huge degree for this game is hedge your bets. You are hedging your bets. You are not, RNG can hit you at any time. Like, even if you have the fucking god comp or whatever you want to, like, team composition, whatever you want to call it, there's still a chance that you run into, like, some, medium level mob and they get to go first and every one of them crits your jester and your jester dies because they don't save versus
sounds like a very specific situation.
But it happened to me. That's what I'm just saying. That shit can happen. And you just hedge your bets against that as best you can. Yeah. And it's fucking it's been the Darkest Dungeon MO since the beginning.
That's true.
Is shit can happen and you have to start over. But that's the other thing, that this game, more so than the previous game, you die. You are dead men walking, or dead party walking. You are not going to live. You are not going to survive to the boss. If you do, good for you. Way to go. If you don't, that is expected. So expect it.
Yeah.
Don't go into any run thinking you're going to win, because that helped me mentally. Like I like picked my characters, picked my tunes, and I was like, goodbye, dead men. We'll see you. We'll see when we get back to the candle store. So, like,
for me,
when I got to the boss, I was like, hooray!
For me, it really helped naming everyone after subscribers. That way, going in knowing they're fully expendable was really helpful.
Nice. Yeah, I could see how that could help. Yeah.
Wonders for the mental health.
Yeah, makes a lot of
But
sense.
once you get to the end game or towards the end game of it, once you unlock everything, every run that you lose, it's more disheartening because you don't have anything else to unlock. So like you bring those candles back and you're like, I guess I'll get a new color scheme. Like you can unlock cosmetics. Like I'll get a new color scheme for my Hellion, I guess.
By the time you guys finished the game, was everything unlocked?
Not everything for me. No.
Oh, really? So even because I found that like even in maybe maybe I just don't know any better, but even in like Act 2, I was like, well, I guess I'll make X character have, 4 more, I don't know, save to death, and that was it. Like, it didn't seem meaningful at that point. But I guess if you're just unlocking stuff still, even at, 30 plus hours for both of you, there's things to do, right? Like, you can constantly, even if you fail, you still get new stuff.
There's a huge, so for those you don't know, what the meta progression currency are called candles. They're candles. You bring the candles back from your adventure and you spend the candles on permanent unlocks.
Yeah.
So there is one track at the bottom of, I can't remember which section of the altar it is, but it unlocks different game modes. And that one is the biggest one. It's like 300 long.
Oh, wow.
But it's like, it unlocks different challenge modes, basically. So it's like this challenge mode will, like, you have a negative relationship chance bonus or boost, I guess. It's not a bonus, it's terrible. But yeah, there's different ways to make the game harder on yourself, and that's the longest track. Like, it's 300 candles to fill, which is a huge amount. So there is that you can put candles into, but like, that's the last thing that anybody wants, is like
harder modes.
I don't want it to be more challenging. Jesus Christ, it's already a kind of a nightmare sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when you like there's just so many times. Also, I'm going to talk to Red Hook directly here. Okay.
Oh God.
Red Hook.
All right, hold on.
Hi, it's me, Zeke. You've used my rage clips at different times, for Darkest Dungeon 1. You use them like at dev conferences and stuff like that. It's me. You remember me. If someone were to perchance be on their way to a boss fight and they make one wrong turn and forget to go to the boss layer to get the trophy that they need to get to the mountain, is there like any particular way that we could, rectify that situation? Like, I accidentally, like, I was trying to hit something on the road, because in your stagecoach, you hit the little debris and you get stuff from that sometimes. And I was trying to veer towards a debris pile on the road, and it chose, when I came to the fork in the road, it chose the direction that I was going to hit the debris pile, because I was holding it down, because then you hold it down, you veer towards it. And it also chose that path for me. And that was the path away from the boss fight that I absolutely needed to get to the final boss of the act. So if one wrong turn, can you please just make that different? So like the same controls to move your stagecoach are not the same controls to pick a path? That would be excellent. Thank you. Sincerely, Ezekiel III, Esquire.
Signed with love.
Signed with love.
Great. Yeah. They watch the show. They're big fans, so that message.
Big
will get
fans.
to them. Yeah,
We're
No,
huge
dude,
in Red
that
Hook.
totally happened
We're huge
to me.
in Red
I was
Hook.
at
Yeah,
the
that's what
end.
it says.
I was at the end of like a 2.5 hour run. I was on my way. Like, I was gonna fight this, because you have to get a boss trophy to get to the final act boss, right? And I was seriously like coming to the fork in the road, and I didn't notice. And I was like, oh, there's debris over here. And I went, I held down the button to veer left to get it. And it was like, oh, you want to go this way? And I was like, wait, no, I didn't want to. Ah! This is terrible.
That's, as the kids would say, a skill issue. Zeke.
It is.
Yeah.
100% skill issue.
100% skill issue. Yeah.
Got to work on that.
Oh, I think there is an option in the setting that makes it only mouse click on the path select. Is there?
Oh.
So you can't arrow it, really? Is there? Helix, are you one guying me? Because if you are, I will come down upon you like the hammer of Thor.
You'll have to load it up and check. Yeah. Who could say?
Why wouldn't that be an automatic checked option? That should be the automatic option.
Because most people are good at video games.
No. This game I am good at. You shut up. I have one or two games that I'm actually good at, and Darkest Dungeon happens to be one of them.
Yeah, driving games though, not this veers into the driving game.
Shut your mouth! Kill you all.
I believe the problem is somewhere between the chair and the keyboard.
That's true. Yeah, 100%. Oh God, Zeke, obviously you like this game. Co, you give it a thumbs up. You're into it. You finished it, right?
Completely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Darkest Dungeon 2 is phenomenal. Got a thoughts video on it. I loved it beginning to end. I think it's so awesome when a dev takes a product that that everyone knows they could have gotten an easy win just making more of the first game. But instead of doing that, they take a big risk. They take everything that a lot of us liked about the game and put it in an entirely new framework, and it doesn't always work. It's a risk. And to be fair, some people do prefer Darkest Dungeon 1, but for people like me, I think Darkest Dungeon 2 is a lot better. I like the framework better. I think it works better for the type of game it is. I loved my time in it. And unlike Darkest Dungeon 1, I finished 2 because I liked it so much better. So yeah, I mean, 2 big thumbs up for me, dude. It's a fantastic roguelite.
Also, real quick, I absolutely love the fact that they took the squished character models and made them more proportional.
Oh, are they bigger than they were in DD1?
Yeah, they're like they're like
all the animations have been updated.
minis.
I knew the animations were better. Yeah. That's cool. I guess the final question then that I have for the two of you, and it might be varying opinions. If someone says, "Hey, I want to play Darkest Dungeon," which one do I play?
Oh, I think it completely depends on what kind of game you like. If you're a roguelite player, if you prefer that kind of thing where you can die regularly and still make forward progress, I think that 2 is for you. But if you're the kind of person that wants to constantly be moving forward, almost more like a traditional RPG, also a lot riskier. Like if you have like an A team in Darkest Dungeon 1 and they die, like you're talking about hours of fixing your game back up, hours and hours and hours. So they're both great games, but they are very different games in terms of the loop and how you play them. So I wouldn't say there's an easy recommend either way because of how different they are.
Okay. Zeke,
there's more management in the first game.
Like town management stuff? Yeah.
The Hamlet, the Hamlet management is, I would say, is a little bit it's more involved. You don't you unlock stuff, but it's not, you don't unlock like trinkets and whatnot. Like, right? It's been a while since I played the first one.
You buy trinkets from the store in the first one, right?
Yeah. You buy trinkets or get trinkets. Yeah. Get trinkets naturally,
or
and
you get
keep
them out of loot.
Yeah, they're already.
Oh, that's the other thing. The
unlocked.
Difference between this one is that once you complete a run with this one, it's just like a roguelike. No one keeps anything except memories and the bonuses that you get, like from completing a boss and continuing on with that tune. You keep the quirks and you keep and the memory bonuses are not great, and they cost you candles anyways. Some of them.
Yeah,
it's
just okay. Yeah,
it seems like a tacked on thing. Like, don't bother giving me any of that shit. It's just, it's not really even worth it.
I think it's a way to get candles out of the game economy, but also give like very tiny bonuses. I mean, they're small bonuses, but they add up. I mean, if you have a full party and they all have 5 memories, like that's gonna be a beefy party. Even if the memory stuff isn't the best for what you're doing.
Yeah, I still do kind of want to do a team comp that I take through all of the like acts 1 through, or see if I can take them through acts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, it's like a challenge run type deal.
Yeah, just see if I can take the same team comp through all of the acts and get all the way to the end with all their memories, like all the the little bonuses you get for the boss.
Yeah. Well, you got another run.
Oh, Bara did that, really? Because I was asking about somebody else doing it.
That's you 100% were.
I said I want to do it.
You're on Twitch. You were without question asking what other streamers have done or will be doing that. Zeke, that's.
Do you think you're going to be the first? Because I have news for you. You are not going to be the first. It's like, oh, damn it, I was going to be world first on this.
That happens all the time when I bring up a game or I just say, hey, is anyone playing this? And like I'm asking chat. No one in chat says I am. They just tell me what streamer is.
Yeah.
I never get like an actual answer from chat. It's just, no, this streamer is. That streamer's doing this. That's how it goes. That's Twitch 101. That's what's going on. That's Darkest Dungeon 2. You guys are both done with it, right? No more on stream?
All done.
All done? Until DLC, I guess? If they're doing DLC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll definitely be back for DLC.
Cool. Co, what have you been playing? What's been going on the channel?
Been playing a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I had a take on that game yesterday. Let's talk about your take of Texas Chain. Are you playing solo? Are you playing with buds?
Mostly. I mean, you can't play with friends right now. There's
really?
like
You just
no
queue in?
actual matchmaking.
Oh God. Okay.
Yep.
Let me pull up some footage of it. I guess you've been enjoying it then. If you've repeat playings, yeah.
I've been loving it. Been having a good time with it. It's like Dead by Daylight. It's obviously heavily influenced, but at the same time, it's doing enough differently to be, for me, pretty enjoyable. Having a good time.
All right. So my take of this, and you tell me if I'm wrong, because this is an outsider's take. I have not played this game or the games like it. Is this just like the reskinned thing that they've done for like Friday the 13th and like all those games of the same ilk, basically?
But here's a good way to think about it. Dead by Daylight essentially started a new genre.
Okay, sure.
It's a terrible name, but let's just call them DVD likes, right?
Okay.
Like it's basically a DVD like. So Friday the 13th was one of those. There have been others as well. And this is a similar take where it is survivors versus killers, in this case, 3 of them. And generally the survivors are trying to escape or basically that's it. And the killers are trying to kill them or incapacitate them. So this is one of those. Absolutely. This one is doing some fun things there are multiple killers. Each one has like specific abilities. The survivors all have specific abilities as well that help them survive. But it's a good take on it in terms of it works pretty well. There's not a lot of bugs, especially for a pre-alpha test. It runs pretty well as well. The levels are kind of interesting. It is very gory. So I mean, this is definitely one of the more, I'd say, kind of gory ones.
Okay.
Also based on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So a lot of people, I think that's just a win in general.
That makes sense.
But no, it works pretty well. And it's got, the way that it presents the balanced aspects of it to like how the survivors can escape from the killers and how the killers can track down the survivors. They work pretty well. We haven't yet seen the skill trees or the loadouts. So balance is, you can't really at all comment on balance or anything like that yet. But no, overall, I have been really enjoying it. Overall, it's been fun.
Okay.
And yeah, I've had a good time with it.
So the skill tree wise, the everyone's getting skill trees or just the I don't know the terms, just survivors. Is that how you
survivors and I think they call them family and victims or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah,
brand.
In this case,
great.
I'm pretty sure everyone is getting skill trees and loadouts, but we don't have them yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean that'll add a lot to the game, essentially metagame and whatnot.
Oh, this poor guy.
And it's real dark. Is that just me?
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. Not only is it real dark, it absolutely is supposed to. In fact, survivors hiding in the dark from the family is a huge thing. But also the grass and stuff. It's really easy to hide in grass and stuff versus the killers. I've had a really good time as survivor, like avoiding people by just running out a door and like jetting into the grass and crouching down and having them literally run back and forth in front of me looking for me, not able to find it. So it's fun.
Are there multiple maps? Is that what we're seeing? Like, was that a all enclosed map and this is an outdoor map?
There was one map and it was the house map. And then when they did the update, I want to say yesterday morning, they just threw in a second map, which is the slaughterhouse. So there are currently 2 maps, and then there's randomization inside the maps as well. So they're like the generators are not always in the same place. Items you get aren't always in the same place. Car batteries and things like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Is this open for anyone? You said it was an alpha test, right? So how do you get into it?
I think you have to apply to it. There was a streamer thing. They sent out a bunch to streamers. I noticed I was playing with a whole lot of streamers and YouTubers the first couple days, but I think they opened it up since then. You could like apply on either their web page or the Steam page or something. And a lot of folks seemingly have been getting in since then.
Got it. What do you prefer? Family or what victims? What did you say?
I like them both.
Okay.
I will say that the family works significantly better if there are comms because they're one of the members of the family. His name is Cook, and he is slow. He doesn't hit hard, and he doesn't have a lot of stamina. but he can hear and track people from far away. If that person is not talking to the rest of his team because there's no way for him to flag when he finds these people, then it's like playing a completely different game. So I think the game either needs like some kind of pinging system, or it needs better in-game mechanics for killers to be able to work with each other while not necessarily talking over voice.
Got it.
So that's been kind of big. For victims, it's kind of the same thing. Like sometimes you have victims that really work well together, and they can like go do two things at once to split the killers, and then both pick one and get out, kind of thing. But no, I mean they've both been really enjoyable. I find myself queuing up for either more often than one of them.
Cool. A lot of people playing. I see there's a waiting for players thing here. Is it just because there's not that many?
Hard
folks?
to say if there's a lot of people playing. It's a very closed.
Is this on Steam?
pre-alpha,
I wonder
so-
if you could just look up.
It is, but I think you have to apply to play it, and then not everyone has been getting in. So
they're being
it's
restricted,
hard to say
okay.
if there's like a lot of people playing it or not.
Cool. Have they said when this is like scheduled to come out?
I want to say it comes out in August or something.
Okay.
It's supposed to come out, I believe, this year. So it was doing pretty well considering, but I think we still got a little bit of time to go.
Zeke, what were you gonna ask?
A couple of people from my chat asked me to ask you about Grandpa.
Yeah. So the way that it works is the killers collect blood. The family, they collect blood. Every time they hit an enemy, they get blood. If they kill someone, they get a bunch of blood. There's a max amount of blood they can hold. And what they do is they go and feed it to this decrepit old grandpa, like half alive thing. And the grandpa sits in this chair and screams. And as the grandpa gets levels from giving blood to him, he screams more often, and he sees the other players in more situations from that scream. So whenever the grandpa screams, all the players, all the victims have to stop moving. And if they move while he's screaming, then all the killers will see a yellow outline around them, regardless of where they are. And if the grandpa's level gets all the way up, and whenever he screams, the killers just always see where the players are. Like whenever he yells, like every minute or so. So it's an interesting mechanic to make it so players can't like super grief the killers by just running around. Because eventually, if the killers are giving the grandpa blood, which they should be, it's one of the main mechanics, they will be able to see where the players are at all times. Eventually.
Huh. Okay. I guess we just saw that then.
Yeah. At the very beginning of the game, Grandpa's asleep, and the victims have to make enough noise to wake him up. And the basement is pretty much where everyone starts with the chainsaw guy. And to get out of the basement, you generally need to lockpick a big metal door. There's usually like 3 to 5 metal doors. And when a player opens the metal door, it makes enough noise to wake up the grandpa. So basically, he's like a mechanic that starts when the victims are starting to make progress.
Sounds like a real cheery game, like super lighthearted.
It's
and,
no, it's very gory, and especially the slaughterhouse level is like very gory.
Yeah.
Lot of blood, lot of torture, that kind of thing.
So you're saying there's no voice VoIP or whatever it's called in this? Yeah.
Oh, there absolutely is. There's voiceover.
There is.
Yes, there's absolutely voice. Yep. All
Okay,
of the survivors hear each other wherever they are, and all the killers hear each other wherever they are. There's no like.
Oh, you were saying if someone doesn't like when you're talking about the cook, you're saying if someone doesn't take advantage of the
if somebody has their comms, with the cook, some people just turn off the voice over IP. Or I had a bug, and the only way I could get my voice over IP working was if I started Steam as an admin.
Oh God. Okay.
Super weird. And thanks again to chat for pegging that one, because I never would have. But yeah, so I had to run Steam as an admin, and until then, I couldn't hear anyone and no one could hear me. So it makes me wonder whenever I see someone not on comms, like if they're having the same issue. Because comms really, really helps in this game.
Yeah.
So the win conditions for this game are kill all the survivors, or kill all the victims, or the victims escape. Is that
got it? That's it.
Yeah.
All of the chat was saying these are asymmetrical multiplayers, for another terminology of this style of game. Are all of the asymmetrical multiplayer games like horror themed? Is there any like, Diablo cow level? Oh yeah, I guess there was Evolve. Yeah,
And there are other Evolve style games.
Yeah. I guess those never. I mean, it found an audience, but then it
None
didn't find
of
an
them have
audience.
been like super super popular outside of like Prop Hunt. But I mean, that's
even then, yeah, it's still
kind
of content creator focused. Yeah. Predator Hunting Grounds. Yeah, I guess Dead by Daylight is probably the one at the forefront.
That was the one that kind of made. That's the one that made Friday the 13th. This game is clearly heavily influenced by it. There's been a couple other minor ones, I think, here and there. Evil Dead, absolutely. So that all kind of sprung from DBD.
Yeah. Cool. August 13th, I think.
There you go.
August 18th, sorry, is when this fully comes out. Later this year for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. When does that alpha end? Is it already over? Or is it in
I think it ends tonight at 12.
Okay.
So I'm playing Bolt Gun tomorrow.
Oh, nice. I've heard great things about that.
Same, yeah.
And it reviewed well. I don't think... I did play Solasta. I was going to say I haven't played anything except for Zelda, but I did play Solasta. They put out the new DLC. Did either of you play that? I think I want to say you guys both played it once upon a time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ko's in the game, I know. Yeah. And Zeke, you played it on... Did you finish
I played it on my own time for the most part. I think I did. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Solasta, Crown of the Magister. Yeah, I think I finished it.
Oh, wow.
I have 148 hours in it.
Holy shit. Okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Is that... So we played there's the sponsor pitch was there's a new DLC called Palace of Ice, which is, I think, a continuation of the story of the main campaign, which is I forgot what the name of that is. But it starts at level 10. You have to have a level 10 character in order to jump into Palace of Ice. It was me and Jesse Cox and Strippin. And that game's, is someone who's primarily, if not 100%, played 5th edition as like a tabletop game. That's a pretty faithful adaptation. We did, it was a 2-hour sponsored stream and we did 2 fights. And that was it. Which, yeah, that's how D&D works. That's how that goes. The fights take a while. And we got our ass beat in one of them. And it was really fun. I actually had a pretty good time with that. I like the like overlay to it and how they implement the 5th edition
UI
rules.
Very clean.
Yeah, the UI is very, very clean, especially for the idea that, like, I guess these devs didn't have that much funding for this game or something like that.
They're an indie company.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very indie.
So they did a fantastic job then in the UI department with that, because everything that you would want to do in like a actual D&D campaign is presented to you in a gamified manner. And it was very, very well done. Outside of like Baldur's Gate 3, I don't know of a better adaptation for 5th edition rule set than Solasta. So we had a good time. I guess the other thing too is we didn't get into any of it, but we opened up the like Steam Workshop, and people have just made like full out campaigns that you can jump into with their like level editor stuff. So it seems like an endless amount of content. Zeke, you put like what, 150 hours into just the main campaign?
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep.
That's wild. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, dude, give me a fucking turn-based game and I'll give you some hours. Like,
yeah.
Let's see how many. Speaking of turn-based games, let's see. Let's just take a look. Oh yeah, about 95 in War Tales thus far. Just thus far. I've only been at two areas out of the 5 or something. So like, yeah, give me a turn-based game and I will stress over every single goddamn round in every single battle. I'll be like, nah, you can't do that. You can't do that. And then, no, what about this guy? And give me the ability to place my characters before the battle. Oh, and I'll give you some more hours for that.
There you go. Nice.
God.
Yeah. Anyways, Solasta it's on Game Pass if you want to check it out. I think it's also free on Steam for this weekend. That was part of the sponsor pitch, so you can jump in if you're looking for something to jump into. Zeke, what else you been playing besides The Darkest Dungeon?
Well, I played and finished a game called Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Is that
Did you?
That's the first one, right? There's 2 of those, I think.
Yeah. There's Conker's Bad Fur Day and Conker's Live and Reloaded. But yeah, the one that everybody thinks of is probably Conker's Bad Fur Day because it was released on Nintendo 64 and sort of promoted by them, and it has adult themes and adult like situations and stuff like that. But like by today's standards, it is super tame. They say the SH word a lot. They do bleep out the F word though, so that's something, I suppose. But there's a lot of Brit stuff in there. They say twat in it quite a bit, and you know, that kind of shit. But,
Rare made this, right? This is a Rare game.
Yes.
Okay, that's why.
I'm actually playing. I started it because I had it on the N64, and I started playing it on the N64, and it was my bad that I got a used system, and with that, a controller that seemed to have been used for either or all of the above: Mario Party, Smash Bros. Like the stick was not good. It was not great.
Got it. Okay.
So in lieu of getting a new N64 controller or one that's better, I guess, people were telling me, no, you can do it on your Xbox One. You can get the Rare Replay. And I was like, is it the exact same? They're like, yeah, it's cleaned up a little bit, but the game itself is the exact same. And I was like, okay, I want the original experience, and I don't like having the polygons cleaned up is great. It's a good addition. But what I didn't know was when they said it's the exact same, like this has some of the hardest, like worst controls and camera of any game I've ever played, because it's old. And, you know, the N64 was the system of the day, and it was like people were trying or game developers were trying for the first time to do like honest 3D platforming and make it really good and really fun and shit like that. Every single directional control in this game, in Conker's Bad Fur Day, is reversed from what is standard today. X goes backwards. The X-axis is backwards. The
Like
Y-axis
inverted,
is backwards. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So to turn the
can't change
camera, you can't change it. You cannot change the X-axis. You can change the Y-axis with, on the Xbox One.
Oh.
Because they were like, you can change those, can't you? I was like, okay, I looked in the settings of the Xbox One, and you can indeed change the Y-axis, but you cannot change the X-axis. You are stuck with that fucking thing. So I just said, fuck it, and I decided to play it the way as it was intended, and it was a fucking nightmare. It was awful. Because every time I wanted to look at something, I would go wrong way first and then right way. Wrong way, I'm going to turn this way. Okay, and now we're going this way.
Had to retrain your brain.
It was so terribly, like, it's just so bad. And also, in this game, like, not only that, the camera, most of the time, doesn't even work. There's just sections of the game where it's fixed. The camera gets fixed, and they don't tell you. It's not like Resident Evil where it's always fixed. It's like, sometimes it's a fixed camera, and sometimes you can move it.
I'm old and forgetful. Wasn't the camera on the N64, wasn't it the C buttons?
It was indeed.
So how does that work in like modern day control schemes if you're using like an Xbox controller? Because the N64...
Instead of on the C, it's on this.
Oh, it's on the stick itself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and when you there's definite sections where you have to aim, like you get guns eventually, and you have to aim them.
That.
And another really awesome thing is when you're aiming, it has momentum. Oh, it does.
It's got like mouse excel type shit.
Oh yeah, if you want to like if hold on, sorry, I got so excited I unplugged my headphones. If you want to aim right here, you have to stop right here. So, like, I want to aim at you, right? And I end up doing this every time. Oh, just kidding.
Well,
I'm gonna aim. Oh, just kidding.
Rare made GoldenEye, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that game I think had similar like mouse excel. I wonder if they just took that aiming aspect and put it here.
I'd imagine probably. It's just something that was standard. Like, there's so many things that were standard back in the day that if you go back and play, you're like, why was this the standard? Why did we, like, God, we put up with a lot of shit, and we did. We did.
I mean, a lot
we
of
were
it.
way more patient with games. We allowed for like terrible camera and controls. Like you think like going back to like Dark Souls, like a third person action, RPG game, like fucking camera got stuck by the wall or it's not blah, blah, blah. It's like, you think that's bad? Go back and play fucking Conker's Bad Fur Day and then go back and play a Dark Souls game again and go, oh, this camera's fucking excellent. It's beautiful. It works every time. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Because this one, you'll get the camera literally stuck behind a pillar that you can't like move out of. And you're sitting there like, I need to aim and I can't because the camera's stuck behind a fucking pillar and these goddamn zombie teddy bears are coming at me and I hear myself getting hurt by them and I can't do anything about it. Whee! Yeah, it'll drive you a little.
It sounds it. It sounds like,
Yeah.
Sounds rough.
However, like I said while I was playing it, I will tell you guys the same thing. The good, funny, fun aspects of this game here, the shitty camera controls, all that stuff. Ooh, it's close. Ooh, just the good stuff just barely outweighed the bad stuff the whole way through. Because there were times when I was like, I'm gonna quit, and then you get an opera singing pile of shit, and you're just like, okay, I better not quit yet.
Yeah, that's Conkers. That's what I remember from Conkers. It was like, was Gex out? Wasn't that the like PlayStation equivalent of this was Gex? Except it wasn't as
Gex. I played that as well.
Oh yeah, I don't think it was like aggressive in its language. It was more just like sarcastic commentary.
Oh, it was just bad jokes and TV references.
Yeah, social like pop references. Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the way through.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
you finished
this one had homages, which were way less cringe than Gex. Gex was just like, you heard the voice actor for Gex like doing, we better get out of here, Scoob, and it's just like, oh god, just fucking stop, just no. In this one, you're like, it opens on a scene that's an homage to Clockwork Orange, and you're just like, this is pretty cool because he's sitting there. Conker's sitting there with a glass of milk and he's sitting in his chair and he's got his king's crown on. And you're just like, oh shit, it's the very first like zoom in scene or zoom out scene from Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
There's references to Alien and Terminator and like, all kinds of stuff, but it's not like, it's not done in a manner that is like supposed to be cheesy. It's supposed to be like, you're supposed to recognize it. And it's done in an actually like satirical, funny way,
Sure.
And you're also like, Gex didn't go far enough in the like ridiculousness of it. This one has no problem like going really ridiculous. Like in this level that you're seeing right now, the object is to pour prune juice into this trough and have a cow drink that prune juice and shit enough down a grate. Like seriously, like diarrhea enough down that center grate in order to something. I don't even remember. I just remember that part. Like it had to like you raised the level of poop water in the level below so you can get to other places.
Okay, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Yeah.
Conker's Bad.
No, and that's the thing. It's just juvenile the whole way through. It's poop and fart and all that kind of stuff. But it has some you could see like some of the work that went into it. Like that opera singing poop was excellent. It was a really good, funny moment, funny song. But it was a giant pile of shit singing it. So like they knew who their audience was, but they also wanted to incorporate like, because this is a game that kids would play and not tell people.
Yeah,
like it wasn't made for.
Well, that people
would tell me that all the time. Go ahead.
Well, the box art, like you would go to Blockbuster and it would just have this cute little whatever type of animal he is. I don't know what he is.
He's a red squirrel.
He's a red squirrel.
Red squirrel, yeah.
Yeah, it would just have the cute little red squirrel on the box art at Blockbuster, and you could be like, "Yeah, Mom, I'm gonna rent this. It's like a Mario game." then it wasn't.
No, and that's
at all.
people. That's exactly what people like told me when I was playing this. They were like, "Oh well, this game wasn't made with like kids as their target audience," and I'm like, "Fuck you!" First of all games are made with kids as their target audience. Like, maybe not target audience, but kids are gonna play this, and everybody knows that. And this is like, remember how Joe Camel got like outlawed because it was a cartoon character? Like, this is a similar thing. Like, this is a chipper red squirrel that is, like on the box going, yeah, I'm having a bad fur day. Even the title is like really cutesy. And then you get into it and it's lots of poop and fart. Like, adults, like regular adults don't enjoy as much poop and fart jokes as children do, Yeah. So like, don't tell me this wasn't made for kids in some way or another. However, it was also made for adults in the references to Clockwork Orange and, like other movies that kids would not watch.
Yeah. Does it?
So like, there was some thought put into it, and you really appreciate it when you play through it as an adult.
Doesn't this have a Matrix goof as well? Or is that in the second one? Oh, that's in this one?
Yep.
Okay. I remember that.
Oh yeah, this game came out in 2001, I think. So anything from the late 90s that was super popular, it's probably in this game.
Is it in
Matrix,
that game?
Terminator, Alien. What's that?
Sounds about right.
No, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Conker's Bad Fur Day. You can play it if you want to on. How did you play it on the Xbox Rare or like what is it on Game Pass?
It is on Game Pass if you have Game Pass for your Game Pass Ultimate or Game Pass for your console. It's not on the PC one for some reason. I don't know why. But you can also, I bought it. It was like, I think it was $10 and it has all the Rare Replay games in it, which is quite a few.
You had to play it on your Xbox?
Yeah, I played it on my Xbox One, which I actually had hooked up because I had a brand new Xbox One that I had never used. And then someone in my chat picked a game that I could only play on that, which was Lost Odyssey. So I already had it broke out and they were like, yeah, you can get it on your Rare Replay. And I was like, oh shit, okay. So
easy.
I played it on my Xbox One the whole time.
Easy clap. It works out. Cole, what else you got? You played, funny enough, you played Outlast Trials. Kind of similar in some ways, but not at all to Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So Outlast Trials is essentially taking the kind of idea of Outlast, which is why you're constantly trying to like escape. And the premise is that you are like a bum or somebody who lives on the street, and you are picked up.
You're a bum. I'm not a bum.
You're a bum. You're this guy.
You're the bum.
This storied history. What good point. And basically you are brought to this location where there is this scientific group that is running these trials. And essentially there's like a hub area where you're being watched by a bunch of scientists, and you can like spend skill points and buy some things and arm wrestle and do some stuff. And it's also where you do the customization. And then you go up to this machine and you select like a trial, and you can go in with up to 4 players. And the trials are basically like these mock situations where you have to do certain things and then escape. So like and some of the trials are actually incredibly disturbing. So like there's a bunch of trials concerning orphans. There's a trial where there's like you have to torture a snitch in a police station. There are it's really Outlast style messed up. Very gory, very bloody. The entire time you have these like mutant creations that are trying to hunt you down. You get a bunch of tools. There's classes in the forms of these like devices you can get on your chest. It is a horrifying, scary co-op game. There's no one playing the enemies though, so it is just co-op. It is you versus the NPCs.
So not asymmetric stuff.
So it is not asymmetrical multiplayer. It is straight up co-op multiplayer. But it's fun, man. It's doing a good job. It's early access still. It's not done, but it was there were some horrifying moments in it, and overall, I enjoyed all my time in it for sure.
Were you able to find people that were utilizing the in-game VoIP?
Yep, and it's great.
That's what I was going to say.
Really, really cool.
I want to talk about that.
The further you get away, like it's all kind of grainy anyway, and then the further you get away, the more it messes up and it becomes staticky and stuff.
It also echoes, right? Like it
It does echo
room
depending
has
on what room
echo.
you're in.
Yeah.
And also there's this whole mechanic where you can get driven crazy. You have like this sanity meter that goes up and down. And as this meter goes up and down, it changes the way people sound, which is wild. Like more laughing and like they sound kind of trippy and hypnotic. And it's a
Wow.
very, very cool mechanic for sure.
That's badass. Yeah. And this
It's also a fun mechanic where there's a mimic. So every so often you'll see a friendly player, but the name will be slightly misspelled, and that's actually an NPC, and they'll walk up and stab you.
it takes the players' names and
It takes the player's
Wow,
names and
that's
slightly
great.
changes them, and then like realistically moves them up to you, and then they start attacking and stabbing you.
That's brilliant. Holy shit.
Yeah,
That-
it's super cool.
wow. That okay. If only this game wasn't fucking terrifying, I would probably
It is
play
actually terrifying. Yeah, like there are parts of this game that are just brutally horrifying.
Yeah.
Like hiding from the monsters in a closet or a locker or something,
That's
and
what-
hearing them
that's
like
what I
stomp
saw.
around on the outside. Oh man, yeah,
I was
it's
watching
definitely Outlast. It's definitely Outlast.
Late Shift played a lot of this, and they would be like running from some, I don't know, something trying to kill them or hunt them. And exactly what you just described, where one person would be hiding in a phone booth, and there's another phone booth right next to where that person's hiding. They'd be like, yeah, we got a phone booth next to me. Come hide in there. They open the door, and it's just a fucking jump scare killer, like trying to stab
Yep.
him the second that he opens it.
Also, I gotta say, what is really cool about this game is it's basically two different games in one. When you're playing with other people, it is much faster. You're constantly needing to save each other. You're both running from the enemies. It's like super fast. It's very co-op. It's very like jump scares everywhere kind of thing. But if you play it solo, it feels like the original Outlast game where you're like constantly sneaking quietly around. You're trying to like not get enemies' attention. There's far fewer enemies when you're playing solo, so it's like way more about, you know, waiting for them to go by and sneaking behind them and stuff. So it was very interesting because it absolutely it felt like there were different gameplay loops almost
Huh.
in how different they were when you would play solo versus with people.
Did you-
It's a lot scarier solo.
Yeah, did you have a preference on solo or co-op, or just different?
I liked both of them. I would actually bounce back and forth. I did mostly co-op because the community in this game is actually pretty great. Like the last time I played with this super helpful couple, and they were like, you know, really big into the game. They'd already rerolled the characters. They had gotten all the way to the end, maxed everything, and then like prestiged essentially
Damn.
into the new one. So yeah, I mean there have been a lot of very helpful, cool people in it for sure that have been pretty great.
Cool. And this is early access launch, is that right?
Yes, it's early access.
So anyone
You
can
got
buy it and grab it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
What are they like planning on adding, I guess, if it's early access? What is do they
I'm
have
guessing-
a roadmap or
I don't know if they have a roadmap. Chat may have to help us out here. I don't
Okay.
know if there's a roadmap, but I do know that I'm sure there's more updates, more maps, probably more enemies. There's like iconic enemies. We'll probably see more of those.
is there there's like
yeah.
a linear progression to the maps, right?
Yes.
Or is it just random?
So each map, there's like the maps are kind of like sandboxes, and then there's generally 3 different missions in those sandboxes. And those, even though it's the same map, they feel very different, or may even like do parts of the map that some of the other missions don't see at all. So there's 3 maps. Each one has 3 missions, and then each map has like 2 extra missions that are like harder versions of a couple of the original missions. So there's a good amount of content, especially for an early access. There's a good amount of content. It runs well, and there was like almost no crashes as well. So yeah, it's cool.
Nice. Yeah, this is the like second test or whatever they've done. So they've
Mhm.
in terms of launching in early access, they also had like whatever the alpha. I don't know what the terms are these days.
Yeah, there was like
prior to that.
I did that one too. It was like
Yeah.
a streamer alpha, like a preview, I think they called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they went into this.
Yeah. God, that game is dark if you don't have the night vision goggles.
Oh
you
yeah,
can't-
oh
it's
yeah.
like
You
the
can run
depths.
out of the things that you need to see with, and that's just a terrible time. Yeah, you can run out of batteries.
So
with it.
I'm late to the party. The
Horrible.
monsters in the game are AI.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is can you said that couple like prestige, is there like an end to the story? Because there is a story.
I think there is. So kind of like in Outlast 2, there's a bunch of intel you can pick up, and which
Okay.
gives you like ideas about what's going on in this facility and how it exists, and history and background, and of your character too. So I think there is kind of an ending to that, but I don't really know much, to be
Much,
honest.
okay.
I did not get too far in that.
Gotcha. You got to keep playing in the future?
I'm going to as it gets new stuff. Yeah.
Revisit
Absolutely.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's brutal. That guy.
Pretty much done for it now, but I spent like, I want to say 12, 15 hours in it. Like I had a good time.
Yeah. Definitely seems like a grab some friends and jump in and get ready to be scared as a group type deal.
Oh yeah.
You can also like troll your party members because they'll be like the way that the map works is that you're doing small little puzzles, right? And sometimes if they're dealing with an enemy, you can go and finish the puzzle rather than help them. Is that accurate? Okay. Yeah. So
I mean, if you want to, but it's the whole thing is co-op. Like you don't really get anything for solving the puzzle. Like everyone gets out together and everyone plays together.
I had a biased point of view because I was just watching the late shift troll each other. So
that was kind of what they do. That's kind of their thing.
It is. Yeah. That's how that goes. Cool. That is Outlast Trials.
Oh, it says on their Steam page, more trials, challenges, enemies, perks, and customization.
Oh.
Thank you, Nettying. There you go. So that's what's coming.
Yeah. Awesome. Zeke, what else you got going for the past 2 weeks?
Well, I did some indie games.
Yeah. Any winners you want to bring up?
Let's see. Was this it? Was this a winner today? Like this one? Oh my god. Hand of Doom. We could talk about that for 5 minutes.
Okay. I'll find the VOD.
Yeah. So I played Hand of Doom. It's a indie game that came out. I played it for a couple of hours. It's developed by Torpal Duke, which is a great name for a development company. Torpal Duke.
Is that Torpal Duke right there?
Yes, that is actually the Jerk Wizard is Torpal Duke.
Great.
I know.
They have Wizard.
Yeah, all the wizards have names. There's like Jerk Wizard. There's like Party Wizard. There's Helpful Wizard, Instruction Wizard, like that kind of stuff. There's an Install Wizard. No, I'm kidding. So basically, the premise of this game is retro. It's like we're gonna take you back to the days of the old '90s dungeon crawlers, with FMV like elements and stuff like that. It's all voice acted, so they're actually, voice acting, and it really, really, really seems to me like I know these people because I was in community theater for a long time. This seems like they just raided the community theater where they live and grabbed everyone they could and were like, yeah, bring a wig, bring a cloak, bring whatever you got. We're gonna put you in the game. It's gonna be great. You're gonna have like 5 lines. Don't even worry about it. No pressure. So like that's what they kind of did. And then it's this retro feeling, like, dungeon crawler. The thing that really made me upset about this was I think I soft locked the game on accident. It really felt like I did. I'm not sure if I did 100% positive, but I did something really stupid. And I think it's because they were like, they're never going to do this. This is so stupid. Why would they stand on the lava until they died? But I did. And I think it locked off an area that I needed to progress, but that's to be expected. It's an indie game. They can't, make preparations for every stupid little thing you're going to do. But that notwithstanding, that beside the point, the game is about, you think it's about casting spells. It takes a bit to get into like the actual spell casting of it, but you actually have if you fast forward the video just a little bit, because in the bottom right, you'll see.
What about the instructor wizard?
Yeah, there's the instructor wizard. Keep going.
There it goes.
Oh, is it just this one? No, it's not.
No, you got it.
There we go. Okay, perfect. Right here. You see in the bottom right, those are the spell words that you use, and they might look familiar to you. Where have we seen those before? Heth, Ort, Tal, Ist. Those look familiar? Maybe they should, because I think they're from Diablo.
Yep. Diablo 2, yeah.
Yeah. But you use those words to cast these spells, and in order to cast spells, they teach you. You have to find the wizards to teach you the spells. So, like, if I want a light spell, I have to find the wizard that teaches me it, and he goes, "All right, the spell for light, the orb of light, Eth, Ist." So like you're not allowed to go into a dark place until you have this spell. So once you get the spell, it opens up the dark maze, or dark little tunnel places and stuff like that. And you do like these hand signals. So you're like, Eth, Ist, and it goes boom, and it creates like an orb of light or whatever. And there's other spells you get. There's the unlock spell, the light spell. Apparently there's a water spell and a fire spell that I never got because I soft locked myself out of it. But the game itself runs, like, for being a retro title, it runs probably better than the titles it's homaging. It's a a love letter to. It runs like, very smoothly and shit like that. The one thing that is kind of hard to remember is that you don't turn your head with the mouse. The mouse is just your cursor, just to do stuff. So in order to strafe, there's no strafing, excuse me. In order to strafe, you press Q and E, and to move around, like move your head around, it's A and D, right? So that took a little bit of getting used to, because I was always like moving my mouse. I'm like, why am I not turning? Oh fuck, right. But
old school.
Other than that, like it's actually, for a, like an indie game with this kind of like homage to the old shit, it's done really well with some pretty community theater on par, like over the topness. You meet like, for example, you meet a wizard that is on fire currently, and she tells you like, I went up to the head wizard and said, I want to be a really hot wizard, and he like put me on fire. So I need a spell to put out this fire. And she's just talking to you very calmly. Her whole head is on fire and shit like that. So there's little jokes like that throughout. And you can tell, like, there's the people they probably used were friends of theirs. And there's probably, I didn't get that far into it, so I'm guessing there's going to be some inside jokes and that kind of, tongue in cheek shit. Probably some, definitely some references to other like mediums and that kind of shit. But it was pretty good, and it's priced right. It's $10, $9.99. So
priced accordingly.
Yeah,
priced accordingly.
Yeah.
Any other winners? Or games
let's
mentioning,
see.
I should say. Probably a better way to say that.
Well, I played a couple of them that weren't really like. It's tough to talk about games like I played 888 Needle, Alabama, and it's tough to talk about games like that because it wasn't what it says on the box. Because it said psychological horror, exploration, realistic. Now, the first two tags are psychological horror and horror. Now, what is psychological horror and horror like? What does that conjure up? It conjures up certain like other games you played of that ilk, right? And this one has it's horrible, meaning like the subject matter is horrible, because it should tell you something that it takes place in 1888.
Yeah.
In Alabama.
Oh.
So, yeah. So this is like stone's throw from the Civil War being over. And they deal with that kind of subject matter. And it's tough to talk about it because it's not badly done. It's not poorly, like the story isn't poorly laid out. It's not poorly written or anything like that. It takes the standpoint, like all of the images are still images, but they're like done in like a roto, like 360 from the point of the picture. So like if you're standing in the middle and you look around, they're all still images, but it's a complete 360 of still image. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know what the term for that is, but it
Panoramic?
deals with, like a panoramic, all the way. But I thought panoramic was just wide, not all the way around.
Oh, but I don't know.
But it deals with like like heavy subject matter like racism and slavery and suicide and murder and all that kind of stuff in a very stark environment. It's very like, but it's from the point of view of a Alabama resident who is looking around the town, and the town is empty and he doesn't know why. And you just pick up these story elements, and the way he talks, the way the sentencing is laid out is very Alabama. He says hain't instead of ain't. He says, he leaves off, like they have a little apostrophe when he leaves off the ending of words, like, how people from Alabama talk, from country. It's very much like that, but it's it's hard to do it. It's hard to like dive into it because it's like a huge, like from Conker's Bad Fur Day to this. It's just like turn the car around. You know, it's a huge fucking departure from what I'm used to. I'm not shy about doing this, but like, man, it's just like it's well done, but it doesn't.
It's definitely a tone
in
shift.
indie,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like, it's not a bad game. It's $5, and if you want like a brutally stark like history lesson, or a semi-fictional story from a town in Alabama that's just just after the Civil War got over, like it's pretty well done. I mean, I would recommend it if you're that kind of person.
Cool. That is 8888.
Yeah.
Needle, Alabama, I guess. Yeah. Interesting name. What else, Zeke? Anything from that?
There was another one that was really fun that I didn't expect it to be so fun. Berserk Mode. And that's how we went. We went from Needle, Alabama, that fun, to Berserk Mode.
As you do.
Yeah. Berserk Mode, I'll just read the blurb, is a visceral time attack fantasy roguelite. Become the Berserker and wade into a dungeon battlefield swarming with monsters. Unleash absurd power of your beast in a storm of blood and gibs. Prepare to enter Berserk Mode. Yeah.
Gibs are pretty good.
I like it.
Developed and published, so we can't say anything bad about it. It's Adam Travers, one dev.
Oh, it's a one dev game?
You can't say anything bad because it's only one dev.
Is that how that works? What one
That's
dev
how that
so
works.
nothing bad can be said?
Those are the rules.
You didn't know that?
Yeah.
That is the rule.
That's the
No,
rule.
it came. I don't remember what game it came about on, but I remember I was shitting on a game. They're like, well, it only had one developer, and I made a huge deal about it. It's like, oh, so we can't shit on a game because it only has one person making it, huh?
Correct.
And so from then on, it's been a rule.
Became the rule.
You cannot shit on it.
It's one dev rule. Everyone knows it.
Yeah. Oh, it's Phasmophobia. That's what it was. Yeah. I was shitting on some of the aspects of Phasmophobia, and they're like, but it's only one developer. I'm like, oh, right. That means I can't say anything bad about it.
That was what, man. Congrats to that person. They live a comfortable life now.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good.
They're doing all right.
So Berserk Mode is, like it says, a fantasy roguelite where you mostly like it's 3D environments with 2D monsters. Your weapons are 2D. Like it's a mix of mediums.
Okay.
But you go through it. It's terribly fast paced. You just fight from one end of the level to the next to get to the crystal that'll warp you out, basically. And as you're going along, like this was towards the end of my I don't know, I think I played it for a couple of hours. Let me see. Oh, I played it like one and a half or something like that. But you're seeing it. This is me, like I finally kind of understand the game because you unlock stuff as you go, but if you have the right like selection of items, you can really rock through the game. This was me having the ability to explosions do no damage to me. So if you pick the wizard staff as your starting weapon and you blast something too close, you get splash damage from that explosion. But with the ability that I picked, explosions do no damage, like pots exploding, my wand doing its fireballs and shit like that. I was just pow, 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 pow. Like, that's why I was double fisting these fucking fireball wands because nothing was hurting me except for the enemies, that would actually come up and start, swiping me and stuff. Those little guys, they jump straight at you. The skeletons, like they have a tendency to like plop enemies like down behind you. Like they'll come from the sky and they go whoop, and they'll just drop behind you. And you're like, quack. You're like, why am I getting hit? You turn around, it's like, oh fuck, there's a whole horde of monsters that just warped in behind me. So they'll do cheap tricks like that. And then if you kill enough enemies in enough time, you get beast mode. And then the beast mode that you saw was an upgrade from the bear mode. The bear mode was the first one you get, and then you get chimera mode. So I was in the chimera mode, and I had that was my tail on the left hand side was shooting poison spines, and then I had a claw to do the other stuff. And and then if you kill enough people in this mode, in beast mode, then you press E to go to ascend. See that ascend? You ascend, and they give you a small amount of time to for no stamina drain. So you can just fire your weapon, slice whatever you got to do without any stamina drain. So it's like, super mode. So there's, progressions to like how many kills you get going into beast mode, going into ascension mode, and then starting the process over again. But the main mechanic of it is you can't stand still, because once the level starts, your HP ticks down. It starts ticking down, and the only way to get it to get back up is killing. So that's how they encourage you to move through the levels faster, to not stand still, to keep killing.
That's how they get you.
I'm saying, man, and it ended up like, I was like, okay, this game is whatever, but it ended up being a lot more fun than I gave her credit for. It really did.
Hey, sometimes dumb killing of mobs is just, it's what you need.
It felt a little bit like Vampire Survivors, like not the gameplay, but the feeling it gave me. I was like, this looks like shit. This looks like it's like Johnny One Dev graphics and all that kind of stuff. Like, I get it, it's low budget and stuff like that, but like after a minute, you're like, okay, I think I'm starting to get it. Okay. And then you look forward to like, okay, the level ends. Let's say I'm gonna pick this thing, I'm gonna pick this, I'm gonna have some gold, and I'm gonna, upgrade that. Very roguelite. Game very fun.
That's how they get you. It's good.
Let's see how much
Berserk
this game
Mode
was. $7.99, $8. So
all right, not too shabby. Not too shabby. I'm scrolling. I'm scolling. I don't know why I said it like that.
I got a Miasma Chronicles.
How was that?
I played Above Snakes. Miasma Chronicles was cool. Miasma Chronicles is from the makers of Mutant Year Zero, if you've ever heard of that game. It is their new game. And it is essentially more of that. It's very similar to Mutant Year Zero. All new characters, entirely new world. The voice acting is on point. It is a gorgeous game. The main story, unfortunately, did not quite hook me as much as I was hoping. But I will say that the characters are super cool. The combat is very fun if you like Mutant Year Zero. Apparently lots of items and some cool skill trees and customizations and things of that nature. I might go back to it, but at the same time, like, I might not. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's if you liked Mutant Year Zero, I would definitely say this is worth a look for sure.
Is the main character's name? Whoa, that's a cool design for the mayor.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the main character's name Elvis?
Yep.
Is that name ruined for you guys just because Elvis is Elvis and there's no other Elvises, or can like other people be called Elvis? Like,
actually, Elvis Costello. Like Elvis Costello took some of the sting. Once I got into his music, I was like, okay, Elvis has two meanings for me now.
That's fair.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay, I get that.
So I can rapid fire two more for you real quick.
Yeah.
Also played a game called Above Snakes. Above Snakes is a game where you play and this is kind of interesting. So you play a Native American woman. It is a survival game that kind of takes place.
I think I played this.
Yeah, you may play the demo.
Yeah.
It's a survival game that takes place kind of like in this I want to say like a Western town. And there's like this zombie outbreak thing. But the cool thing about this game is you build your own world.
Yeah.
So as the game moves on, you unlock tiles and you put the tiles together and you actually build like story areas and lakes and forests and areas to do different things. I played this up until the point where the building system started bothering me. And then I moved on. But it is a... What?
Well, like what about the building system started to bother you?
The building system that really bothered me was that I like the crafting system, I like the building system, but it's a tiered system. And the tiered system means that you go from, wooden planks to wooden boards and things like that. And it didn't do two things. The first thing it didn't do is it wouldn't allow you to replace items that you've built. So if you had like a plank flooring, you couldn't like replace it with the next tier. And then the second part that kind of killed it for me was a combination of not only could you not replace it, but you couldn't destroy things unless you broke the stuff on them. And when you broke stuff, it didn't give you all the resources back. So at the end of the day, unfortunately, it is a building system that punishes you for upgrading. And sometimes the stuff you need for the things you build are not super common. So I was just kind of like, I'm gonna hope I'm gonna hope that you can eventually be able to like move. At least move. You can't move your items either. So at least I'll be able to hopefully move my items one day, so I can like break stuff down and then rebuild it. Although apparently there was a patch today where they fixed some of that, so that's kind of cool.
Oh.
But yeah, so at the time that kind of I lost my steam and moved on, and you know it'll be a bit harder to go back to. But overall, the game is very creative. It's very cool. It's got a nice style to it, and it is a great little indie survival game to check out if you like that kind of thing. And the whole world building mechanic is very unique, for sure.
Cool.
How were you turned on to this?
Demo days, Steam demo days. Where it was a highly
That's
rated
where
demo.
I played it. Yeah.
Okay.
I got to like where I think I got like a quest or something. Is that a thing that happens, Co? Where you get someone sends you on it, or you like see some other people and you talk to them, they give you a quest. Is that a thing? Or am I okay?
Oh yeah,
That's where I
happens a lot.
stopped. Is right around there. I don't know how. I don't think it was very far. I like got the main. Exactly what you see here is the next tile. I think that's introduced as people are there.
And it just keeps going. There's apparently like a pretty full main story. I had gotten a fast travel mechanic when I got to it, which is pretty cool. So
okay.
I mean, there's a lot to the game. There's a lot to the game.
Did you do a lot of fighting? I remember the fighting was like kind of okay with the zombies and
I did a pretty good amount of fighting. I mean, it felt fine.
Yeah,
it felt fine.
Cool. That is Buff Snakes. What's the other game you can rattle off?
Starship Troopers.
Oh, nice. You played it.
I did. I played a lot of it actually.
I heard that game's like pretty fun. Like,
dude, the game is fun. It's just dumb fun. Like people kept asking me to play it, and finally I broke down and was like, "Fine, I'll play your stupid bug space game." And sure enough, like by the third day, I was like, "Dude, I've done my part. I did my part." Like it's cool. It's just a dumb bug shooting big co-op game. It's got some very light base building elements that are great when they work. Lots of bugs to kill. There's some pretty decent progression paths that get you some very meaningful upgrades. And yeah, it was fun. There were some the thing that I like about this game is there are games every so often that craft like what I would call like actual epic gaming moments. And this game, when your whole crew is waiting by the arc reactor, you've extracted everything, the extraction ship has just landed, and all of a sudden this crazy epic music starts playing. Everyone starts running towards the plane. There's bugs literally everywhere. There's no chance in killing them all. And you're like dodging bugs left and right. And you see like people falling around you, and you're like trying to like kill the few in front of you so you can keep moving forward. And the music's going, and it's actually awesome. They do a really, really good job at the extraction stuff. And yeah, it's just a fun game. I found myself coming back to it, which is pretty impressive considering there's only one game mode I liked. The other game mode is kind of bugged and not very well thought out. So, and I mean that bugged in the technical term.
Yeah.
And not really bugged, but more just poorly designed. It's poorly designed.
Which so
it needs some serious work.
There's a game mode that's like unlocked after you play. Is that the one that's bugged or?
Yes, after you play a little bit. So basically, there's this game mode. This is one I played most of the time, and this game mode is like you land with a bunch of guys
right out of the gate. You can play this
right out of the gate. Yeah, this is the one. This is the first game mode. You land with a bunch of guys. You have a few light objectives. You get to a point further in the map where an arc reactor drops. You have to build a rudimentary base, defend it, and then extract. That's the game mode I like. That's the one I keep playing. The other game mode is you have kind of like more of an established base, and then you have to go out onto the map and set up ore and gas extractors, and you have to bring back stuff from them while also constantly fighting off infestations that rank up this like infestation meter. And if that maxes out, then just endless bug spawn. And the problem with that one is it might be kind of cool if everyone knew what they were doing all the time. The problem is it's not games like this work. And what happens is a lot of people, they're total chaos. A lot of people are not doing objectives. They're just running around shooting stuff. And then things build up that aren't supposed to. And then you get, overwhelmed. You have to go deal with this while this isn't getting done. And I feel like the game mode is too unfocused. And the one time I really sat down and decided to try it, the round lasted 50 minutes. We weren't even close to done. And then the game crashed, the server crashed. So we lost all of our progress. So at that point I was like, you know what? I'm never doing that again. Like the first game mode's fun. It's good. It
How
works.
long is this game
I'm just going to keep doing that.
About
I'd say anywhere
20?
between like 20 and 30 minutes,
okay,
depending on how smooth things go. It's pretty quick, it's pretty fast, it's pretty painless, unless your team sucks, which does happen. And those, man, getting slowly overrun sucks.
Is that just people
slowly dying?
People start to die. Yeah, okay.
People start to die.
Is this
Oh, go ahead.
Is this like alpha, like
Early access?
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I wanna say
it
it's
looks like
early
the
access.
character models are not like they look like the grayscale models, like that they
Yeah,
haven't put
gray
any
box.
color or stuff on. Yeah.
The graphics are very indie. The game feels kind of indie. It's one of those games that's just fun to be fun. It is not the best looking game. It ran pretty well. This particular part is super washed out because it's a night map and everyone's together and everyone's flashlight is on. So you're seeing like 10 flashlights on top of each other.
Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, that's what you're seeing here. Again, it's very
Okay.
indie.
That's great.
So yeah.
That's a pretty
Anyway.
good.
Oh, see,
vista.
that looks way better. Look at the
That's a-
colors in this little scene right
yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Generally it looks okay. Generally it looks okay.
man, I like.
You see,
that
there's your
screen.
unit right now. That's how you generally look.
Yeah, some of the big.
Okay.
You mentioned it. Meaningful upgrades. That was like the biggest win that I have seen people talk about this game is when you get upgrades, they are actually like awesome upgrades. They're not things where
Dude,
it's
the
like,
thing that
maybe
kept
I'll
me-
use that, but no, you want
The
to use
thing that
them.
kept me going the longest is as the support guy, like level 11, you unlock a freaking grenade launcher.
Yeah,
I got that grenade launcher, had like an absolute awesome time for a round, and then was like, I'm done with this game.
nice.
Like
Yeah.
that was awesome. I loved it. I worked my ass off for it. I got it, and it was great.
How long?
I'll
like
come
how
back
many?
later as I have more stuff.
How many in-game hours did it take you to climb the ranks?
I don't know. Let me take a quick look here.
Okay.
I have played Starship Troopers for 8 hours.
Okay.
So, and they were mostly support. Yeah, like two. I think like three stream sessions about.
God,
Um,
it's
And
it's wild that you didn't have to pay extra
Yeah.
for that battle pass. Like to see a progression system where it's like, how much was that progression system? Was that the free or
Yeah.
premium tier?
yeah, there's
That's
also
just-
two other classes I could have played: support and like I think assault or ranger or something. And they each are pretty unique in terms of what they can do and stuff. They change the playstyle a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, also it's in UE4 now, but eventually they're going to put it in UE5. already said.
That'll help with the graphics most likely.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. The other thing I saw a lot of people.
Would you like to know more?
Yes, I would. The other thing I really enjoyed, people, and this is great because I'm talking about it right now. 10 seconds for you to find a game, and it just went. Like there are tons of people playing
instantly,
the game,
instantly,
and
yep.
it's instant in.
Yep.
We talk about like
25
queue
bucks.
times. Okay.
$25. So the price is definitely there. If you just want some indie dumb fun, like it is definitely a $25 game.
And it's got all
And
the
it is-
Starship
it's worth 25 bucks.
Troopers references. Like
Hmm?
they do the you want to know more, you're doing your part. You got those audio
yeah.
bits happening. All the
That right
time.
there,
Yeah.
like is how you start the maps, like a little news update.
Yeah.
Does everybody shower together in the same locker room? I'm just
There
wondering if
is a distinct lack of
Yeah.
co-ed shower scenes.
That's in UE5. You got to have the UE5 for the RTX technology.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Alright.
That was an iconic
Alright.
scene for me as a young gentleman growing up. And
Oh,
it was
you as
unfortunate-
well. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did not see enough co-ed
I
shower scenes.
think I think I brought that up not knowing if it would it would fly for you guys, but was that a scene for everybody that you were just like
Yes.
you're watching this
Yeah.
Starship Troopers like show that's just
Yes.
cheesy
That's-
alien
dude,
action,
dude,
and
Yes.
then it's like here's some titties right in your face, and you're like
I think for many, I kid you not, I think for many, there's two words that go together that not a lot of people get in their lives, and that is casual nudity. It's casual. It's like no purpose. It's just like, oh, here's some boobs.
Yep.
It's like, whoa,
And
that's
that
a,
was-
that's a thing.
Yep.
This happens.
Yep.
What? This is
the
I-
future fucking rules, dude.
I-
Woo!
here's-
awesome. I
here's
want to do
how-
my part.
Let me tell you, here's how like
doing my
impactful,
part right
meaningful
now.
that was. Rolling Oaks Mall, San Antonio, Friday night at 9:00. I went and saw this film. And I was like, I don't know, 12 years old, 13 years old.
Oh, God.
And I was like, man, this movie's really gory.
I
Man,
did my part
what
3
a-
times. that
wow,
night.
this is great. Are you seeing this film? This is it's a masterpiece.
Actual masterpiece.
This is cinema. Yeah, it's great. And then the other two just don't exist. They didn't make 2 more movies after this, funny enough.
They didn't. Turns out, yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
they
just
weren't good.
not
Now-
even there.
Good.
Now, honestly, I'm going to tell you, I did not know they made 2 more movies.
They didn't.
I
I don't know.
I haven't seen them. I've been
I
told
had no idea.
I've been told to preserve the memory and probably avoid them, unfortunately.
I don't know what they are. You're making shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're lying. You just
Wow.
you
There you
can't
go.
lie so
There you go.
blatantly. Yeah. No, this game seems like a lot of dumb fun in all the best ways.
Dumb fun. That's the best way to say it. It's just a lot of dumb fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is like
Good time.
I kind of want to skip ahead a little bit of the VOD so people can just see like how crazy chaotic it gets. This might be actually your long. I don't know how to tell what game mode is. This is deliver or to the silo. Is that the base game mode or is that the?
It might be actually. There is a bit of that game mode in the other game mode. Like basically in the extraction game mode, you can like randomly get objectives. There's like there's like basically like a random objective and then the build the base and defend it. And sometimes the random objective can be like get ore or get gas. The thing about the second entire game mode is that that's like the whole thing is get a whole bunch of ore and get a whole bunch of gas. So it's a little different in that regard.
Got it. Okay. And the other thing too, how many? So is it 12 player lobbies or 16?
16 player lobbies.
Yeah, and that stuff is badass. Like it's been a while since they've, I think,
Almost had I had like a little bit of trolling because some people with rockets were getting a little
with friendly fire
too friendly with them.
Oh,
Well, yeah. But outside of that, like overall, like it was actually pretty freaking chill.
Yeah.
With people, and everyone was kind of playing together, and it was good. It was very good.
It's dumb fun. That's
Mm-hmm.
excited for like. I wish this was kind of the direction that FPSs were going instead of the like Tarkov simulator, which I think is going to be the next 2 to 3 years of games. We're just going to get Tarkov after Tarkov after Tarkov.
Extraction shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Marathon
With
does.
Marathon
We
being
didn't
kind of
really,
the first, yeah.
we didn't really talk about it, but I'm curious to see if they're going to go the more Tarkov, like gritty realism, tons, not necessarily like the guns and stuff, because everyone knows that that's way too in depth for the audience that Bungie's going after. But like Tarkov and Dark, no. I don't say that as an offensive way. I say that because a lot of people want a more arcadey feel. They don't want to. They don't want to sit in front of a gun for 2 hours trying to learn what parts connect to what parts.
You are correct.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm glad we clarified. Yeah, you are correct.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but the thing is that premise bleeds into many other things about the game, like how in depth, how deep do you want these mechanics, and how arcadey you want these mechanics. How much do you want it to be about the loot and the stuff you get in the game and the way you customize your character? And how much do you want it to be about the raw gameplay?
Yeah.
So a good example of that is like Dark and Darker really leaned into the itemization and really made equipment make a big deal. And I love that. I absolutely love that stuff. I love the stuff in Tarkov, and Tarkov's like an extreme version of it. Then you have games like The Cycle. And The Cycle kind of leans into that more like arcadey light feel for extraction shooters. And I honestly couldn't get into that game nearly as much as Dark and Darker and Tarkov. And I'm wondering if that's what we're going to see from Marathon. That kind of like Bethesda style like simplification. I wonder if we're going to see Bungie's simplified version of a Tarkov experience.
Yeah.
And I wonder how that will do. I wonder if that's going to be something that people embrace, or I wonder if people are going to be like, this just feels like an arcade game and not an extraction shooter.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
I've seen I saw a lot of takes saying exactly what you just did in terms of the extraction shooter and how for like the gaming masses, right? The people outside of Twitch, essentially, the people that play COD, they look at Tarkov and they don't know what the fuck that game is. They don't know what happens in that game. They don't know how that game, what the game loop is or anything. And I think that's I agree.
And they look at the gun
wholeheartedly with that.
customization and actually have a seizure.
Yeah, it's too much. It's so much for like
it's too. It really is like too much is a good way
for
to
the
say
average
it. It's
player.
at times too much.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And so that's going to be, I think that there's like an iteration that has to occur. Whereas when you look at with battle royales essentially were popular from the get-go because it was 100 people dropped into a map and you shot people until there was one dude left.
It's a pretty simple gameplay.
Yeah, it's like
and if you understand it, you get the whole thing. Yeah.
Exactly. You get it very quickly. Whereas with like an extraction shooter, it's very hard to get that. And I think the reason that Tarkov works so well is the the idea of things being rare and the idea of things having value exist. And a lot of times, at least with like the Call of Duty extraction mode that they introduced, which was, pretty bare bones, I guess is one way to describe it. It didn't have any of that. And so there was no like, oh my God, I just got a key card for labs. I gotta get out of this place immediately. Like, that's the fun of Tarkov, is having an item that is going to be worth things outside of the core game, and you got to get back and you got to extract. If it doesn't have that type of stuff, it's going to be really hard to create those moments that, like, the story, to get into the marketing, the PR bullshit, the like storytelling moments of like, you're going to tell this story after this game to someone to get them involved type deal. And I don't know how you do that with like an arcade thing that can capture both audiences, I guess, is going to be the hard. Like, how do you capture the hardcore Tarkov audience and the COD audience essentially in one game?
It's kind of the same thing that MMO designers have to deal with when they try to make a system that caters to casuals and hardcore players. Where it's like the more you go towards one, you are naturally gravitating away from the other. Totally. So finding that like magic point between the two that makes both relatively happy, that is going to be a very interesting thing to see. If they may not even attempt it, that's the thing. Like they may just be like, okay, no, we want to simplify Tarkov for the masses. That's our goal. In which case, that's, I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh man, like no. So that's what I'm very curious to see with Marathon. Like what are they going to try to do with it?
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting to see.
And the Call of Duty attempt, if you want to use that word, of their extraction mode, from my understanding, no one cared. Like both audience didn't care that came out, and no one plays that. They just continue to play Warzone or just straight up COD Arena.
Yeah, it didn't really pick up much at all.
Yeah,
did it?
It didn't pick up type stuff. So I don't know. You would think that, granted, it was rather quick that COD came up with that mode. Bungie seems to be taking a different approach with like the 2 to 3 years or whatever till we see that game. So maybe they can figure that out and crack that code. I hope so.
Let's
right?
see.
I love Tarkov. Tarkov is great. Give me another Tarkov.
Bungie, I super like the style, the feel, and the look of Destiny 2. I've just had some major things that have not let me, the things about it I just don't like. I can't get into.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Marathon will be what gets me into that stuff. I'd love to be part of that community and enjoy that stuff. So I have high hopes, man. I have high hopes. It's gonna be a ride.
Yeah. Sure. They put fishing, by the way. I'm sure your chat told you in Destiny 2 this past week.
I got text messages, JP. I got
text messages. Wow.
The
was Goth hitting you up trying to pass that drug?
the bat signal went up when fishing was announced. To say the least.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I have
one
not
day
fished
I might
yet.
attempt to get the damn fish. We will see.
Yeah. I have not fished yet. I know it exists, but yeah, I'm still running around in Zelda. That's been my primary hook.
Oh, speaking of which, before we break, we got 10 minutes left. Still enjoying it? Still awesome? Still loving it?
Yeah.
I
took like 2-3-ish like day break after doing like 10 plus hours. No, that's a little generous. Like 5 to 8 hours a day. And then I got right back on the horse yesterday. It's like, this is great. I'm gonna do the next temple. I've only done one temple out of 4 still, and 50 hours into the game or some shit. And it just continues to be like, Chad, I'm gonna go do this. And then I'm falling from the sky and a star drops next to me. It's like, I gotta get that star. And then a thing pops up over there. It's like, star, drag.
Now I gotta go get that thing.
Do I land on the there's a star. I'm going to go land on the dragon. I'm going to loot the dragon. I'm going to jump off the dragon, go get the star. And then you guys can remind me what I was doing in the first place, because I already forgot. And that's Zelda in a nutshell. There was, they did a big, it wasn't a big patch, but it was a patch in terms of affecting the player base this past week. So there was a really easy dupe mechanic that was found.
You, right?
Huh?
Is there a couple?
There's a lot of dupe mechanics, but this one is like dummy easy. So you jump off of anything, you pull out your glider, You go to your menu. Sorry, you pull out your glider, and then you open your inventory. You go to any item, you hold 5 of said item, and then you would press 2 buttons, and it would just dupe 5 items. And then you can press start, go back into your menu, dupe 5 items. You can dupe up to 20 or 25 at the time, because that's the most the game can handle.
That's very un-Nintendo.
Yeah, so like pretty much the entire player base was using that to dupe like whatever you wanted. So you could dupe 5 diamonds, get 25 diamonds, they'll sell for 500 rupees each. People were walking around with like hundreds of thousands of rupees. And just like, you know,
Yep.
you don't want to grind for that armor set? Fuck it. Here's a way to not do that.
I mean, single player game.
Yeah,
right?
it's a single player game.
Thank God there's not any like social aspects they had to worry about with that.
A lot of people did it with the battery to power your creations, because like Goth was saying last week, and that I eventually found out on my own, you can have 8 bars, which each one is 3, and then it doubles that, so you have 16 bars. In order to get each one of those bars filled up, you could use 15 large zonite ores. And those are like not rare, but they take time to farm. Or you just jump off of a ledge and dupe them 700 times.
Yeah.
It's fair.
And then you have a full battery bar to just go and have fun in the game with. And so that got patched out. They pushed a patch. And so there was a mad dash for everyone that was playing to go and be like, no, please don't patch my game. I don't want to patch Switch. Stop automatically updating, because there's a setting.
Dude.
And so I'm still on the old version to where I can dupe things if I would like to. So that's what I've been doing the past 48 hours, was leveling up my batteries and being like, anything else I want to do before I update?
So you're using the dupe glitch.
Yeah. To do the battery stuff. Because chat was like, you should do that, and then you could make a mech. It's like, I could make a mech. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
We could surpass Metal Gear. And I got into the Metal Gear memes. Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it reminded me of when I accidentally updated my Like a Dragon Ishin account, because the chicken race dupe, or the chicken race money glitch.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and play some Ishin, and I was like, okay, let's update. Wait, no, grinding money in this game is very difficult. It's very time consuming. Oh, what have I done? And then I was looking online to I was trying to can I hex edit this? Can I do something anything to get this fucking patch back? And I tried to redo it, and eventually it just became too much of a headache to try and do a previous version. So I was like, fine. And that's probably the reason why I didn't I stopped trying to 100% it or even get close.
Yeah.
Because without that glitch, without the infinite money, even with infinite money, it's still really time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
But without it, it's just insane. It is stupid. So
right.
Yeah. And also when you're talking about duping in a Zelda, a first person, or a single player game, why just go for it, man?
It's up to the user.
If you want to play the game,
it's a single player game, dude. Yeah, who cares?
You can beat the game in 2 hours.
You're not hurting anyone.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. I had zero morality issues whatsoever. I don't want to farm 700 large zonite. I'm just gonna do this for 5 minutes.
Yuck other people's yum.
Yeah.
As long as it's not affecting you, who cares?
Yeah. And you could if you want to, hey, you could straight up really break that game and just dupe 100 of a certain item, and then you never have to worry about combat again, type deal. There are real ways to break it for sure. But Nintendo patched it, so if that update hits you, then I think there's other dupe methods that people have already found, but they're not.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's
like a whole TikTok sub trend now, is different ways to dupe in Zelda. So
yeah.
I think people will be fine.
Absolutely.
And if you're concerned about people think just. I mean, we've known Solar Self Found, by the way. We've known that for a long time. Just tell everybody.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and tell everybody. Solar Self Found. I didn't do it with the dupe. No dupies, or whatever, however you want to memorize it.
That's correct.
I beat Zelda, no dupies.
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. Yeah. Then apart from
No
that, I
goopies.
was building PCs and updating the rigs, and so that's all done. As soon as Barry updates our our admin stuff, we'll update OBS, and then I might be able to push out drop frames in
Yeah.
4K on YouTube. So that'll be kind of cool.
Woo!
We'll have some 4K footage, although none of our base footage will be 4K. So does that even matter? I don't know, but I'll still be able to do it. We'll see how that comes out. And that's kind of that. And then just taking it easy, honestly, because if the subathon goes as long as it could, then I'll be here for 34
When does that
days.
start?
Thursday is when that starts.
34.
34 days. It's uncapped with a hard cap because I have to travel for a family vacation that was already planned on the 5th of.
So you're doing everything on stream?
Everything on stream, yeah. 15 hours on, 7 to 8 hours off. Sleeping on stream is how it'll go. Starts Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah. Or maybe it won't be a big deal. And I was talking with Strippin about
how much is it? How much is a sub per minute?
One
sub per minute.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I talked with Strippin at length. That's the thing among seasoned subathoners, I guess is how you want to look at it, is the fear of the subathon ending after or before 24 hours is real. And so you kind of have to like gauge, your audience and what to expect there. Cause it's fucking embarrassing if like it doesn't go 24 hours.
It all depends on like you'd have to sit down and math it and figure out like how many subs would it take to go that long? Is that something that's doable?
I've done a lot of the math. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about 1,000 subs a day.
Wow.
Yeah. If it goes full 30 days, it's 40,000 subs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
the interesting thing is now, and I didn't plan the subathon ahead of time with this involved, but that the Diablo sub thing for 2 gifted subs for the mount.
Oh,
if I can
because you're on that.
Because I'm on that. So if I can get to June 5th, so if I can get 5,000 subs to June 5th, then that kicks in, and that might just be enough to get me all the way to July. And if I'm on, that's a lot of hours, guys. Do you know how many hours that is?
Wait. Are you going to be eating on stream too?
Yep.
When are you going to do any exercise during this?
No, question mark. Probably not. I might.
I would 100%.
I probably should if I'm on stream that much.
I would 100% consider adding incentives for subs to make you exercise.
Yeah.
Because I think people that don't want you to die
probably the case. Yeah, we'll put exercise on
that would probably be good.
Yeah, we could do some ring
also
fit.
Probably get you a lot of subs. Yeah, but no, I mean that's wild, dude.
Oh, I could do DDR.
You said 16 hours on. You're doing 6 hours of sleep a night.
6 to 8, 6 to 7. Because
okay, so you're gonna give yourself a little.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not gonna like alarm clock it. I will basically go to sleep, and then when I wake up like the first time, I will be like wave to the camera and go and eat
now you got your nice CPAP machine, man. You're gonna be first day. You're gonna wake up like 11 hours, be like, huh? Oh God, subathon. Oh God.
Yeah. So I talked to Strippin a lot because he did the subathon.
Yeah.
Was that last month? 2 months ago? I think it was last month. And I was like, so what is X? Like, what's the best practice for X? How did you do Y?
What did Strippin do?
He did the same thing I did. Or same thing I'm doing.
Yeah. And he did 30 days, right?
No, he got to 14. His situation was a little different because he's currently streaming from a different house than where his wife and kid are.
I do remember I at one point went in to drop subs for Strippin, and as I entered the chat, his chat room and everyone in it was actually begging people not to sub so he could go.
Yeah. So the issue is that his daughter was like constantly telling him like, hey, when are you going to come home? Like, I want to hang. I miss you. Can we hang out? And like, that's a little,
Aw.
I don't have like a 2 or 3 year old daughter asking when I
Yeah.
can hang out. So he was like, guys, I'm not saying I want this to end,
But I want this.
but I want to
end.
see my fucking daughter.
Yeah.
I think that was
Oh.
18,500.
So that must have been when I dropped by, because I mean, literally his chat room was like, let him go, like nobody
Yeah.
sub please, and like everyone was like pledging to each other to stop gifting subs, and
Yeah.
like it was
And
this
and
really weird communal anti-support.
he wasn't
thing.
saying that, but keep in mind, he was not saying that himself. It was his chat. And it also got really ridiculous because he would get to like sub 1 minute, but when you hit sub 1 minute, there's always someone ready to like snipe it, right?
Yeah.
And so that happened for like 4 or 5 days straight, where he was just always, he went to bed with like 45 minutes left on the timer. It's like, I'll see you guys tomorrow. There's no way this is fucking ending. And he came back and had like 16 hours or some shit. So there was like a giant sub bomb that happened as he was sleeping. But yeah, so I don't have a child who is desperate for my paternal attention. So I have a wife who's going to Japan and other situations, other places. So I'll just be home alone with me and the dog. And we'll get to hang out. It'll be fun.
Good time to do it.
If we go that long. Again, I don't know. Could end on Thursday. We could be doing drop frames a week from now and I'll be off the subathon. I don't know. There's nerves about that. We'll see. But yeah, shows for those curious, drop frames will be fine. That won't be impacted. I'll be here.
Are we doing drop frames the first weekend of Diablo? Or are we just going to sink into that hole and
that's up to y'all. I will be, hey, I'll be on stream. So you guys let me know.
Okay.
It's up to y'all.
I have no dog in this fight. So
okay.
I'm fine with either one.
I might farm during the show, but I'm happy to be here for the show.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll play it by ear. We'll play it by ear. Because then the week after, we are on a lot on like the 8th.
Oh, we got SGF.
The 11th.
You're doing this during SGF.
I am doing this during SGF. It's kind of the culmination of a lot of shit, dude. Like Diablo, SGF, Final Fantasy 16. There's a lot of shit
This
dropping.
is the only thing I'm going to say. We're older. Don't push yourself too hard, man.
I'll be good.
Like
I'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah,
like
I'll be good.
That's a long time to be sitting in front of a computer and not like, I'm assuming you're going to be ordering food and not leaving. Yeah, like it's
720 hours.
I don't know what I would do without a lunch break for a day, let alone for like 30 days straight.
Yeah, it's 720 hours.
Man. Wow. Okay.
Think about how much you stream a month, and it's about 6 times of what my normal average is. Because I stream like right now, I'm at 150 hours streamed.
Yeah, you know when you say that, Twitch is like, go on.
Yeah, they're like, guys, get him the ads now.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
It's front page him the entire time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Anyways, let's do some shout outs. We're over. We'll call it a show. Zeke, start us off. Did I set this? Yeah, I set it up. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at /Ezekiel_I on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, and Ezekiel the Third, all spelled out, on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you to CohenJP for being my co-host every week during this Drop Frames podcast that we've been doing for 97 years now. So
accurate.
Wow.
See you for the next 97. If you want to know what I'm doing, I know. I am taking tomorrow off, like I always do, taking Mondays off. But on Tuesday, we're gonna have some fun. The one of the rare times where I actually write down a game that's coming out, System Shock. The new System Shock remake is coming out on Tuesday. So I will be checking that out. It's my first time playing System Shock. The TLDR of it was like I wanted to play System Shock, and someone said, "Hey, there's a remake being in the works," and this was a long time ago. Like, oh, there is? Well, then I'll wait for the remake. And here it is. The day has come. So I'm going to be checking out System Shock for the very first time during when it's remade. So that's what we're doing on Tuesday. Hope to see you there. Thank you for watching.
Fantastic. Shout outs.
Hi, everybody. As always, thanks to JP and Zeke. Fun show this week. My name is Ko. Hi. Going to be playing Bolt Gun, Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun tomorrow, which is the like Doom connection between Space Marine 1 and Space Marine 2, from what I understand. Should be cool. We also have my Diablo 4 100% run coming soon. We're going to be talking to every NPC, watching every cutscene, every dungeon, every quest, every boss. We're going to do everything that game has to offer. Looking forward to that. And then we are also going to be playing the System Shock remake. I never played the original System Shock. I played the heck out of 2, but I never played the original System Shock. So I'm very excited to dive into the new System Shock coming out here in just a couple days. And I hope you join us for it. But anyway, see you guys tomorrow morning for Bolt Gun. If I don't see you for that, I'll see you tonight for V Rising, where we're going to keep working on our base and working through the Gloomrod expansion. And if I don't see you for any of that, see you next week for more Drop Frames. Maybe. Yes, I think. Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
There we go. I don't know why you're mirrored on that scene. Whatever. Let's just stay there. Okay, there we go. Cat's lined up at the edge. You love it. You're a little bit too far over, though, to be honest. Like, now.
You can. My camera's clipped, actually. You could make it longer.
We'll do. Oh, is it? Oh, you're right. Yeah, let's do that. And then we don't
There's
clip.
Kitty.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey,
Beautiful.
buddy. No, that's
Oh, yeah. Look at that cat. That's
my little geriatric kitty back here.
Yeah.
17 years, this kitty.
Dang.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
They gave him 2 to 4 months almost 6 months ago.
He's crushing it.
Doing all right.
He's doing all right.
Crushing it, man.
It's because he
Happy with
eats
kid.
your skin.
It is. True. He's warming me up to eat me later.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hi, hello. Tomorrow, what are we doing? Oh, tomorrow's community day. That's right. I'm playing Honkai Star Rail because my community loves me. We're going to be checking that out to see how that is. And I'm hiding my wallet tonight, chat. It won't have access to it, probably. So that's that. Tomorrow night, I think we're watching, we got MCU Crew, myself, Jess Cox, that Bronze Girl, and then we're watching Black Widow, because we're currently in our MCU rewatch. That's a stinker. If you want to come watch us shit on that film, should be a good time.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're not watching it on
I like
stream.
that movie.
Yeah, the first half is good. Second half, dog shit.
All right.
Second half, it's our like 28th film. You can go to mcucrew.com/rankings for that. Tuesday, day off. Wednesday, episode 1 of Crew 4 for Last Call for Adventure. Strippin, Kryken, Momo, and Temak are starting their D&D adventures on that day. And then Thursday is Diablo launch, Subathon day, all that type of stuff. So, busy week, perhaps busy month. We'll see. Next week, I think, should be SGF week. So we'll be doing a lot of stuff for that as Drop Frames. You can follow us on Twitter or our individual Twitters. We will be streaming individually for those shows, but on Discord is most likely what we're doing there. Anyways, that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh yeah, Street Fighter 6. Are you playing Street Fighter 6 at all?
Maybe. Depends on if I'm like how big Diablo ends up being.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'd like to.
All right.
And then, of course, 16 is going to destroy my life as well. So
Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah. Kind of it sucks that game's coming out the same day. Anyway,
Yeah,
Street
it's
Fighter
weird.
6.
I'll tell you this. It's going to be a great month for me because anybody who doesn't want to watch hype games, you know where to find me.
There you go. Check that out. We're out of here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. I'm sure it's going to be a doozy of a week with Diablo 4 coming out. One way or the other, we'll be talking about that game, I'm sure. We're out for now. Have a good rest of yours. Bye-bye.